Hello.
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 Hi.
How is everybody?
Hi.
I am totally not eating on stream for
No.
the 4th week in a row.
So, okay, there's a bunch of people here. Crepe, hello. Ray, Eric, John. I'm sure
Eric could have been on here,
Tony,
but he was
Zippy Das Pinhead.
He wasn't committed.
How are you guys? It's good to see everyone.
Hi, everybody.
So, Ash brought all her people, which is convenient because it leads into who is our guest. Our guest is the wonderful, amazingly talented variety streamer Spinachy, or Ash. Ash was how a lot of people, I think, on this podcast met, and I think that that's very interesting. And hopefully, we'll get into some of those stories as the thing progresses. There's an outline here of sorts. We've gotten rather more professional with it since the last time.
We've tried.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sloppy, but next time I
'cause-
promise you, it's gonna be timed up.
It's because Spinachy is our first partnered streamer we've ever had. So gosh,
I thought you were gonna say Spinachy's our first love, and I was like, thanks, bitch.
and our first love.
Yeah.
Our first everything. Yeah.
So, in the spirit of that, Melly has taken the liberty of designing an outline, which I think only I read, and maybe probably Morgan actually.
I skimmed it, but I didn't retain much of that info.
Trev saw that it was there.
God awful too long.
It's huge. It's a real Dostoevsky is weeping at the thought. But Melly has an icebreaker question apparently.
That is apparently very basic. So.
Okay, yeah. So my question for the group today is, if you could have coffee with any video game character, who would it be? And Ash, since you are our guest, I'm going to throw to you first.
That's
a
so
lot of
mean.
pressure.
I'm not even ready.
She didn't know the questions. She's like thinking and like,
This is all in real time. So
This goes for everyone in the chat too.
Yeah. This is
so
for
maybe
everyone.
if I had more time, I'd say someone differently. But the moment you said that, the first person I could think of is Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. And I think the reason why I'd want to have coffee with her is because at the time, my age, playing Final Fantasy VII, I think it was really, for me, so important to really like a female character in a game who I thought was like strong, powerful, wasn't just like a healer. I really just enjoyed her character, and I think it was important for me, like growing up and playing video games, to see that like strong female lead. And that's what I want to have coffee with. But maybe in like an hour or two to think about it, I'd change my mind. But for the most part, that was the first
point
person
randomly in
I
this
thought of.
cast, Ash is gonna be like an hour into it. Wait, never mind. I changed my mind.
And that's the beautiful thing about this cast, is it'll probably go on for longer than an hour. So if you want to change your mind, feel free.
But right now, I think that would be like who I'd want to like talk to and pick their brain.
All right, Rory, you're up next.
Oh shit. All right, let me think about it for a second. God, this question, I feel like I should be able to answer it because Melly prefaced it by saying it was really, really basic.
Maybe that's just like more pressure because like if you can't come up with an answer, you're gonna be like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, this is already a tragedy. You know what? It'd be Handsome Jack. I'm just kind of in the mood to see how much he can roast me during like a half-hour long coffee date. I think that would be like kind of entertaining. So there you go, Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. That's my answer.
All right, Morgan.
Oh, Eric said.
Eating.
Yeah, no, but we're following.
Yeah,
I'm doing this thing where it's
let
like
me go next, because
down.
obviously I surprised you guys with this. So.
Sugar's been thinking of this all day long. She's ready for a
answer. And I don't have so my answer is actually gonna, I know like this is gonna be super predictable for me, but I'm gonna actually say Ellie from Last of Us, because she doesn't even know what coffee is.
19 or 14-year-old
I don't know 19-year-old Ellie yet. I don't know her yet.
So Last of Us 1 Ellie for sure.
Yeah, Last of Us. Oh my gosh, Pepe. Yeah, Last of Us Ellie, because I don't remember if you know that scene where she's talking with Joel.
They're in the hotel.
Yeah, and they're like wandering around the hotel.
Sorry, these are major spoilers, so.
And they find sorry,
not
spoilers for Last of
This
Us.
is not. This is like a side thing.
Spoilers, Ellie
Yeah.
doesn't know what coffee is. Major plot point.
Yeah.
Comes up a lot
Yeah,
later.
and so there's like a coffee bar or shop or something inside the hotel, and he's like explaining to her, you know, back in the day, people used to go into coffee shops and get coffee, and Ellie's like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
like I don't know, I just like to have coffee with someone who doesn't know what it is and hasn't experienced being in a coffee shop. So that's my answer.
Trev
Morgan,
has to
you're
go
up.
now.
Trevor's next.
Trev has to
Oh,
go.
never
Alright.
mind. Trev is next. Yeah.
Let Morgan eat.
Unlike the rest of you, I actually thought of an answer, and I have one. It would be Kratos, if I'm being honest. And not
one?
not
Oh,
the
that'd be
angry
good.
ass
What?
With the one from the latest God of War.
Okay.
The one with the long ass beard and like the older.
Don't be
and,
sorry,
like,
be better,
yeah,
Kratos.
the more calmer one.
Yeah.
He would just sit around and give you like life advice the whole
Yeah.
time.
I'd like
Somebody
question
else's
like
life
what
advice.
what
Yeah.
went through his mind when he was like murdering his entire family, and then like why he did it, and see if he
That
felt
sounds
bad
like
or
a really
something.
interesting subject
I'm
to
gonna,
talk
I'm
about.
gonna talk
Yeah.
about life experiences with Kratos.
That's the kind of thing I'd want to pick someone's brain about over coffee. The that really get right into it. Would you like open up with an icebreaker for him, like, or would you just go straight into it? Like,
I'd probably
Kratos
be like,
doesn't deal with a lot
so, the Pantheon's not doing so hot, huh? And then, like,
Okay. I think my answer would probably. I'm actually at like a crossroads with these. They're both princesses is the thing. I'd probably choose either between Princess Peach or Princess Zelda because they're both two characters that I have grown up with all my life, who are both like these really interesting female characters. Maybe a little bit more so even with Princess Zelda, because especially in some of the other games that she's in, she's like so regal and so powerful, and she's so wise, and I think it would be really interesting to just pick her brain, you know? So yeah, I think actually I'm gonna go with Princess Zelda.
I've changed my answer since hearing Morgan's answer.
Here we go.
Because okay, now my
Is
answer.
this gonna be a cute thing? Is this gonna
No,
be
no, it's not going to be a cute thing at all.
Do I have to-
actually.
do I have to
he's,
vomit
he's,
rainbow
he's gonna pick
Link.
Link because
I'm sure there will be cute things later on, but no, this is actually just because I know Morgan really likes Persona 5, and I realized that in Persona 5, there's like this big thing about making coffee. So I've decided that now I want to have coffee with Sojiro from Persona 5 so I can learn how to make really good coffee. And
I've
that's
watched
just
Morgan
like
play,
something I've
like,
always wanted to
80
learn how
plus
to do.
hours of that game. I still have no idea who that is. I know like 4.
Sojiro, he's
characters.
the coffee guy. He's the guy behind.
Oh, the guy
thing.
who
Yeah,
like
by
who
the
lets you
cover, there's
stay
like a-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
alright.
you stay at his place. So yeah.
Bro, I don't
Yeah.
know. I know like 3 people.
Oh my gosh, you and Gameology are on the, are on the
Also,
same wavelength.
since I disappointed on this earlier, Morgan, you're a cutie. Hi.
Be prepared to hear that like 9,000 times throughout this cast.
Rainbow vomit. I love it.
Right.
Trevin Roy.
I feel like I get butterflies from your cuteness.
Aw.
I just occasionally have to step off screen and like use the bathroom. It's fine.
You're like so
When we're like
cute.
streaming Monster Hunter, Trev will just like change subjects.
Yeah,
He'll
they'll be in the middle of
you'll
doing some shit, and I'm
me
like,
and
alright,
Morgan
so
will be talking.
we
You'll be
gotta
like, how about them Astros or whatever? Like.
It's just too cute.
Alright, so Melissa, what's next on the docket? Because I clearly didn't read it.
You took the power away from Trev by like formulating all this into a actual thing.
Into making it structured.
Tarkov coffee is probably nasty, Verdant.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
yeah. What's so? Sorry, Melly. The next thing on the list is what's everybody playing right now. Ash, what are you playing right now, on or off stream or both?
Okay. So I'm playing so much crap. I really wish I could be like, oh, I just have a particular answer that I'm playing. But I'm playing Tarkov and Siege and Overwatch a lot right now. And my plan is to start This week, Neo with my favorite Hella Fly guy.
You're finally gonna do it.
Well, Neo 2 looks really good, so I have to get
The
my
open
button
beta
gear.
is open right now.
Yeah, so I have to get my button gear and finish it, and then be ready for Neo 2. But I'm playing a lot of Tarkov because we just got a new patch. It's good. It's it's nice because I feel like it's a nice collecting game that has to do with shooters. Like it's like Siege, like a step up from Siege, but definitely Tarkov, Siege, Overwatch, and then plans for Neo.
How do you feel about the new update?
I think it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Tarkov is one of those things, like I always say this, it's like an abusive relationship. So it's like we fight all the time, but the sex is great.
Wow, I do not get the metaphor at all.
Well, you had a long break from Tarkov. Rory's face was
All right,
great.
guys.
The whole revelation.
I tagged educational in the stream, so we're gonna have to keep it in that direction.
It's true. It's just like it's rough. It can be so rough and punishing that it's like, why do I even play this game?
Yes,
you know?
Tony, that's the first thing I did when I made this account.
It's a stream 18.
Oh my goodness.
We need an adult.
I'm sorry. It's the best analogy I can think of.
Well, you were on a break. You were on a break.
Yeah, I had
and
a
then
break. We broke up, and then Tarkov called me and was like, "I've changed a few things. You might like me better." And I was like, "Okay, let's try again." So here we are, and I'm trying it again.
Okay,
I'm so sorry,
so
Lori.
what's the
You poor little.
Rory's blushing.
Rory's Canadian. He doesn't deal with this all the time.
I'm sorry. Canadians are so sweet.
Trev, you've not played BioShock, have you?
I've seen multiple people play through it. I saw Tiff play through it. And
Oh,
I think
well,
I saw
Andrew
Ash
Ryan's
play
like
once.
Yeah, that's actually a good answer. I think it was Gameology that said that.
Is
It's
Andrew
really
Ryan
good
the
choice.
guy who goes, "Would you kindly"?
Yeah, he's the guy at the beginning. He introduces. He like made Rapture.
Okay,
Um,
never mind.
Wait, are you trying to play through BioShock right now, Trev?
No.
Oh.
No,
'cause I asked
Gameology
who
said that
Andrew
if he was to have coffee
Andrew
with anybody,
Ryan
it would be
was.
Andrew Ryan
Oh.
from BioShock, and I thought that was a good answer.
Booker's better though.
It-
It's Troy
This
Baker.
guest.
Okay, hold
Troy
on,
Baker.
hold on.
Wait, isn't Troy Baker following you on Twitter?
Yeah, I just want everyone to know in this podcast that Troy Baker follows me on Twitter, and I'm from
And I'm
SoCal.
Did you tweet out this podcast? Is there a chance Troy
Of
Baker
course.
could show
Honestly,
up?
I should tweet at Troy Baker and be like, I know that Death Stranding comes out tomorrow, but you need to be here.
What
What are your
Didn't
favorite
Nathan
followers?
Fillion follow you on Twitter at one point, or has he?
What?
No,
I
Oh
thought-
my god! I just
said.
said.
I
Nathan
thought you
Fillion
said
is-
that at one point.
Nathan Fillion is my freebie. Like, no matter what, I could always go out with Nathan Fillion. My boyfriend will
Faithful.
understand.
Oh my god.
Thank God Richard isn't
Nice.
here, because like he would have came in and be like, "Oh, I'm from SoulCal, count one."
He does that all the time.
I have a question for Ash, actually.
Okay.
A now relevant question. Okay, you said that Booker is better. Do you like BioShock Infinite better than the other BioShocks, or
Okay. Yes, I do. But
interesting, unpopular
but
opinion?
I played BioShock Infinite first. So I think that's
Okay.
why, because
Mhm.
it was like I played it and I was like, wow, this game is so good.
Mhm.
And then I played BioShock 1 and then I started BioShock 2. And to be honest, I did not like BioShock 2. It
That's a
wasn't
more popular opinion.
It wasn't like I hated it, but I think because I played it right after BioShock 1, that it just didn't feel right. You know, like I feel like if I had played it like years later, I'd be like, oh, well, I love being back in the BioShock world, you know? But
Mm.
it was like, I couldn't even get through it. But I love
Wow.
BioShock Infinite.
I think that was similar to my experience because I played Bioshock Infinite first, loved it, and then I started the first Bioshock, but I never finished it. It didn't like draw me in the same way that Infinite did, but I still want to finish it someday.
two different camps for Bioshock people. There are people who played it like when they came out on release, and there are people who waited until like now to start playing them. And if they don't do it correctly in like the same order, I feel like they're either they hate it or like they thought it was just okay.
Yeah, it did definitely. Because I remember when Bioshock, because I remember playing the demo on PS3, and like back then, I think in the climate of games that were out then, it was fucking mind blowing. Like even everything, like from like the visuals to the way the story was presented. Like I didn't feel up to that point like I had played a game like it. And now going back, I imagine it is a bit of a different experience.
Can I add to that just for a
far
second?
away.
BioShock 1 to me, like even though it's not my favorite, compared to BioShock Infinite, it's kind of like I said this yesterday. Alien is in the Aliens franchise is revolutionary to the genre, right?
Yeah.
I like Aliens better, but without Alien, the sci-fi genre wouldn't be what it is. And BioShock is one of those games. BioShock 1 is definitely one of those games. Even though, like I said, I like Infinite better, I think that BioShock 1 was really important for where games are today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Compared to like Infinite. Infinite was much more like Infinite was rinse and repeat at the time. It was in a BioShock environment, but like it was a lot like the other games that were out, which is why it was so popular.
Yeah, and I still think it was stronger than a lot of the other games that were out because I think it had a better story. But I agree. It wasn't as mind breaking in 2013 or whatever year that came. I have a question. I guess we'll follow up that question we asked Ash to Morgan now. Morgan, what's on your playlist right now?
So I'm just perpetually forever playing Persona 5.
Okay.
Of course.
If you had to guess, how many hours would you say after the command? Like,
Melly, ouch.
I have to.
It's supposed to say 426. So.
Oh gosh, Morgan. Jeez. Fair enough.
Oh, Zippy. My heart.
See, I'm the only one who doesn't have the command like this.
Pick up Peppy! Peppy! You monster! Pick him up!
I'm positive I made something.
No, you did in this channel, but I didn't make one.
I know, but I don't remember what it is. What's the command?
I think it was just... No, I'm not going to tell you, actually.
Wow. Nice, thanks.
I mean, you could pretty much... I think you'd be pretty easy to figure out, if I'm being honest.
I can't remember what it is.
No, that's not it.
Garden of Mops.
It was the Garden of Mops, okay? So.
Damn it. It's been so long.
Was it like... Dang it. I can't remember what it was. Oh, wait a minute.
I think it was just MHW.
It was! Why? Come on.
That's why I was like, I think it's really simple and like it's really easy to figure out.
Besides Persona 5, what else?
So besides Persona 5, also I'm positive I'm at least like 150 something hours into this playthrough, so it's at least like 500 something. But I want to say one of the bigger things that I'm playing at the moment too, besides like Overwatch and like Mario Kart or something every once in a while, it's definitely Luigi's Mansion. I am enjoying that. So I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Excuse me. It's like, I don't know. Like it's scaring me because I'm a baby and I'm not good at like jumping, things jumping out at me. But it's a super cute little game. And there's a lot to it so far. And there's a lot of little small details in it too. So I'm really enjoying it. Plus there's a multiplayer mode, which I think is super cool.
Do you know what the multiplayer mode entails? Because when I played it, I saw that they had it, but I don't know anything about it.
I haven't done it yet. Mario. I know part of it. Like, there's two parts of it. I think where like people can like traverse parts of the tower together, and then they can do other things and like play on teams. I think, but I still need to get like into the actual like multiplayer of it. So like we could probably play that sometime soon. But I heard it's pretty fun. And a lot of other people at least have been saying that the game is pretty fun to them too. So I'm enjoying it.
Also, Melly,
did you have to
I'm
tell
just gonna
me?
tell you now, just so you don't let me forget about Mario Kart next week with me and you and Morgan and Caroline.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Like
that
whatever
happening?
you do, just like spam me in Discord, like whatever. Like just don't let me forget about it. Yeah, that is happening. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I get to
I mean, I
play
haven't asked
Caroline.
Caroline yet,
I'm
but don't
so
worry, I'll take
excited.
care of it.
Oh, she doesn't know.
No,
She
doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
She knows
They-
now.
Yeah, she probably heard actually. We have like so Ash doesn't know the lore of like my apartment, but like we have crazy thin walls here, and you can
And
hear
ceilings.
everything. Right? So sometimes I'll just be on the phone and like I'll ask a question to Morgan or something, and Caroline will text me the response. And I'm just like, ugh.
I don't know
like,
if that's creepy or amazing.
I'm you know
I
what,
think
I'm
it's a little bit
undecided
of both.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit
yeah.
of both.
Trev, what are you playing right now?
Currently, I'm
Mm.
sure as all of you noticed who I'm participating in the Discord with. I've been on Digimon for like
Yep.
45
Wow.
hours. Within 2 days. So,
Digimon is the new arc.
But besides that, just whenever we play Overwatch together or Monster Hunter, and that's pretty much it.
How's
Wait,
Digimon
who are you playing
going?
Digimon with?
Yeah, we need more details.
Yeah.
No, it's just,
I don't like this ambiguity, okay? No, thank you.
No, Digimon's a single player.
Oh.
I mean, I could play with other people if I battle people, but like, I don't.
Oh,
I
you
don't
can
do
battle
that.
people?
Yeah, it's like Pokemon. You just like take it in and attack each other.
I know what Digimon is.
All right,
I just-
making sure.
Is this like a placeholder until Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out? Is that what this?
No, I don't have it.
No, he doesn't have a Switch, so he wouldn't be able to
Oh
play
my
it.
gosh,
Yeah,
that's
remember?
right.
We gotta get him a Switch.
We have
It
this
was the
discussion.
best
like,
purchase
twice.
I've made in years.
We
I
gotta
bought
get
it
like a
because I was
Kickstarter
sad.
going for Trev's Switch.
The only
We
thing I'd
should.
enjoy about the Switch would be like, because
Pokemon.
I'm going on a flight tomorrow, like to do something that like where
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck do I do except for wait for the flight to be over?
How long's your flight, Trev?
It's
6
just
hours?
under 5 hours, so it's not
Okay,
that
it's
long.
oh really?
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less time than I thought it would be.
Well, maybe
I,
I'm thinking it'll be longer the other way because you get the current going east, and then it will take a little bit longer going west.
See, I can't use the Switch like in a vehicle or in a plane, obviously.
Oh, because of motion sickness.
Yeah, because of my motion sickness. But like I got the Switch. Yeah, Ash doesn't know the lore of that either. Ash, I like have really a high sensitivity to motion. So like
Oh,
I can't
no.
play Doom
Can
for
you
more
not
than 2
read
hours
either?
at a time. I couldn't read it in a moving anything. Like, and airplanes make me sick. So
You just
but I
sit
have
there
the
in
Switch
silence and
because
cry.
like I'm super lazy. So like I'm like I don't want to sit at my desk. I want to sit in my bed and play video games. And that is the use case that my Switch is designed for.
The Switch is a great DS. It's honestly like playing a Legend of Zelda in bed is so fantastic.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like before I started streaming, I exclusively would use my Switch, except for Super Mario Party, which you cannot use it in handheld mode in. But I was exclusively only using my Switch in handheld mode. Because I would like put on Netflix in the background, I'd play my Switch just like I would play like my 3DS or something. Like just
How would you
Yeah.
feel if Persona came out on the Switch? Like, what if they released Persona 4 Golden
Oh,
Plus?
God.
on
Are
the
they
Switch?
releasing a Persona on
But
the
we
Switch
never
anyway?
see you.
No,
again.
well, yes and no, Trev. They're releasing like a collab game with like Persona and I think it's Dynasty Warriors. Is
yeah,
that right?
so they're doing Persona 5
That sounds
Scramble.
so
That's coming to the
weird.
Switch.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe because it depends on like on Atlas and Sony. I think they want their core games if they can to keep them on PS4 or PlayStation, I should say, just because then that way Persona is, even though like there's a lot of people that maybe don't know what it is, but in terms of JRPGs, I think most people who like JRPGs have probably played a Persona game. And so I think that's why they would like to keep it on PlayStation, if anything. But it was actually really funny and sad because when Persona 5R and Persona 5S had got like announced at first or like leaked, that was for Persona 5 The Royal, which is basically like Persona 3 FES, Persona 4 Golden. Just has more content and everything in it. And So they're like, okay, so Persona 4 Gold or Persona 5 Royal. Okay, that's pretty cool. And a lot of people were thinking that Persona 5S was going to be Persona 5 on the Switch. And it turned out that it was just Persona 5 Scramble, which is a completely different game. And a whole bunch of people who own Switches were really pissed off. Like, the subreddit was going crazy. People were so mad.
Made everyone real sad.
Oh my god.
There was a riot.
It was funny, but I would not be surprised if maybe like after the Royal came out and it was doing well, if enough people were like, I want to play this on the Switch, they probably would put it on the Switch eventually. I would only get it, like re-get it, because I'm obviously going to be getting the Royal. I would only re-get it, like in terms of the Royal, like on the Switch, if they had a special edition. So I would only probably re-get it for that, and that'd be it.
Melly, what are you playing right now?
I've been making my way through Alien Isolation, which Ash is the reason I have this game to
She
begin
also
with.
called you out on it the other day because she was like, Ash told me I was almost done with this game, and like I wasn't.
This bitch. you didn't play.
Well, no. Hold up. Can I come to Melly's defense here? In Melly's defense, Melly said, "Who was it that told me that I was almost done this game because they were wrong?" And I said, "Ash."
Well, I think where you were in the subway was like my last session.
Yeah, I think. Well, the problem is we have different. Like, the time it takes to finish this game is like relative to the difficulty setting. And
yeah,
so,
I was on easy, so
Yeah.
like that's why.
How did Tater let you play that on easy? Did you get bombarded with messages every few
That was
seconds?
before
about-
Tater was around.
Oh
Like,
shit, that's how.
oh,
Yeah.
that's how. Because
Like, I played it over 2 years ago. It was like 2 Halloweens ago. I played it through, and I loved it. I sat through and I played it like over the course of the weekend, like 3 sessions, and I finished it, and I just loved it. But I played it on easy, so.
Well, I realized too, because I was looking at my trophies. So I finished 12 out of 19 missions. So I'm just barely over halfway done.
You
which
probably
is
have
great.
6 hours left, I'd assume.
You say that now,
But on hard, like I imagine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've really been enjoying it. It's one of the scariest games I've ever played, just in terms of how tense and anxious I feel the whole time and how much it's making me jump. But so I just recently rewatched the first Alien movie, Alien. So it just made me kind of like reappreciate all over again, like the attention to detail in the game and like the sound design, like even like the electronic beeping, and like there's so many like little touches.
It's so
in the
80s.
Yes,
They make it
it's like-
so 80s.
It's so
just
80s.
great.
Why are we
Yeah.
using 80s computers in the future? I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
data's transferred different in the space.
Yeah, I think like so the joke now between me and Rory is that I'm always trying to convince him to play games just by saying it's a stealth game, Rory, you should play this. But it truly is like
It is a stuff, yeah.
it
Yeah,
is
no,
truly-
this one has been reliably backed up by people
By-
other than
by
just
data.
Melly. Because Melly tells me everything's a stealth game. If you can press crouch, it's a stealth game, right? Like,
I'm like
If
Last
it's
of
an
Us
option-
I said Last of Us Ungrounded is a stealth game, so you should also play that.
I've never played The Last of Us, and I'm reliably informed that I really need to fix that injustice.
It's free.
It's well,
It's
it
not
was
free
free. I don't know if it's
anymore.
that's free anymore.
You done
You
good.
missed your win. You done messed up.
I knew it was free, and I let it just sit there. I
Lucky
didn't add
for
it.
you, I have an extra copy.
There you go. You
Take
should join
from my
the
library.
spin a loot box subscription that I have.
Siege is a stealth game.
Oh boy.
I have a bit of a like specific question for Ash, actually. Ash, that's an SM57, isn't it? Your
Yes.
microphone? How do you like it?
Okay. I love it,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes a lot more tweaking than just plugging in a Blue Yeti.
Yes,
In
it does.
So like still even right now, I would say that my microphone doesn't do my voice 100% justice because it
Mhm.
still needs more tweaking, and it just
Sure,
takes
yeah.
like little notches here and there, you know, but I definitely think that my microphone was one of the things I need to upgrade the most out of my setup.
Mhm.
I think that sound is more important even than like video quality, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, I think so. And
I
when
think
I
they
see
go
people
hand in
like,
hand, honestly. I don't think it like one's better
well,
than
that's
the
true
other.
too. But when I see people like deciding whether to raid someone or whatnot, or whether to hop into a stream, they're like, how's their quality, right? Like they like, can I hear them clearly?
I'll leave faster with the sound of like a terrible microphone than someone's camera is like freezing.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that actually, because if you're not hearing anything from the audio, then there's kind of no point in really staying. But like everybody has frame rate drops sometimes, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. It just takes a lot more setup. Like Blue Yeti, honestly, you can make your Blue Yeti amazing if you download enough programs and sound gates and things. But like,
Yeah, that's true.
in general, this is like, it's a great microphone.
Blue
I like
Yetis
it.
are cheap too.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
one
They
thing
are.
about them. Now, mind you, they pick up sound like you wouldn't believe.
Oh,
And like if you
yeah.
have it next to a keyboard, good luck.
Yeah, no, wait,
Yes.
no.
That was my
We've been
biggest
assaulted
issue for
by,
so long. My keyboard
Ash's
typing.
rapid typing in
Yeah.
Discord
So
before.
Yeah, I currently have that problem. So
Yeah, the also the SM57. By the way, Ash, I don't know if you've ever played music or not, but if you ever want to record a guitar amp or something like that, the SM57 will be perfect. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
that's if I magically become musical, which I doubt. But thank you.
They just released a new Yeti. Crepe, is that true? I didn't see that. I should look
Crepe
at it. Actually.
knows all of the electronic information always.
Alan Talos, welcome. I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce your name or if it's Alan
Oh yeah. I've never
Talos
seen the.
or-
I've
But
never
I'm
seen
gonna go
the
with
name before.
Talos because Rory's been playing
Hey.
Skyrim. So
Yeah, Talos, exactly. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope that's an Elder Scrolls reference, but you're welcome even if it isn't. Stick around. It's a podcast. I guess it's fairly self-explanatory.
okay, now Rory, what have you been playing?
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a good point. So I've been playing. Well, on stream, I've been doing modded Skyrim lately, because it's a really good stream game and it's really easy to like keep up with chat and all that. Like the other day, I tried playing Doom, and that was a motherfucker trying to look at chat and play Doom. So yeah, like Skyrim on stream, Overwatch and Monster Hunter World, I guess, is my multiplayer game on the side. And I like am permanently on the edge of starting PS4 Spider-Man. It's the
so
very
good.
first thing I bought when I came to London. I even told Morgan, I said, the first thing I promise I will buy before I buy anything else is Spider-Man. I bought that before I bought Juice. Like, like I literally the first thing I purchased, and
that
I
before
still
you bought
haven't played more than the first mission. But
Necessities.
I was gonna ask you, what does permanently on the edge of starting a game mean?
that just means just like I'm always like I gotta make more time to play that. But then
You got
like,
to
I
the
gotta
start
go
menu
deeper.
and that was it.
Or I got to stream or something like that. And so eventually I will play through PS4 Spider-Man because everybody tells me it's the most amazing thing ever.
You can
It's
make
so
that game a
good.
stealth game.
I'm told that you can.
That's true.
See,
Everybody
Rory, I'm not lying to you.
everybody on my PS4 friends list, it seems like changed their icon to be the Spider-Man
No, when
thing
that game
after
came
playing
out,
that
no
game.
kidding, like everybody on my friends list was like Spider-Man
In
icon,
Rory's
icon.
defense,
Mhm.
I know that the more PC games I play, the less I play my console, just because it's a pain to like get a like.
Swap over.
I feel like now the more PC I play, the more I'm like, I guess if I was sitting in bed doing nothing and there was nothing on TV, I would play my console. If that makes any sense. Like it's like annoying to have to like for me because everything's plugged into my monitors, I have to like switch over my monitor, make sure everything's working, and I'm just like, this is too much. Like,
It's 100%
That
true.
sounds
I
a
bet Morgan
lot
feels the
more
same way
like-
after converting over to PC. Yeah.
Problematic for you guys. Because like I just open an app and I just turn it on. That's how it works.
well, must be nice.
yeah.
Like, I don't
Brag
understand
about
how. Well, I thought you had the in CPU.
I do, but like, so I have an issue right now where my Elgato doesn't pick up my sound if my OBS isn't open. So like, let's say I was
Mine
gonna
does that too.
so I was gonna play
Really?
Last of Us with Sugar, and like, I didn't have any sound, and I was like, what the hell? So then like, I'm like, it was working with OBS the other day, so I opened OBS and I was like, still no sound. So then I go to the specific window where I have my PS4 scene in OBS, and it worked, and there was sound. And I was like, now I just have to like look at myself in OBS and like worry that I'm like, am I gonna press the go live right now, like on accident? So like I just haven't been playing as much on my PS4 off stream because of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to do the
totally.
same thing.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. So like sometimes I'll be like, okay, so are we playing in like with Tiff, for example?
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
See, I have that problem. See, like with Tiff, like when we're playing Borderlands, it's like, okay, hey guys, cause like sometimes with her, sometimes like things will be going on with like her computer and stuff, right? So sometimes it's like, are we gonna be in PS4 chat or are we going to be in Discord chat? Because I have to open up my Streamlabs if we're gonna be in Discord chat, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to hear anything from the game.
Yeah, there's like a cord that you need to fix it, and like I at one point I've like lost that cord, so that's why I don't have the option anymore. But Crepe does have a fix for it if you're like.
I think it's
You wanna
just
buy,
in
like,
settings or something. Because like I don't
No,
have
it's
that
not.
problem.
It's,
And
you probably have like a type of headset that doesn't do it, but if you have like Astros or a Razer or anything with a mix amp, you need a particular cord to do it.
That's because I only use like a speaker, like these like shitty earbuds. That's probably
Yeah.
why.
Talos talked about getting a PC. I highly recommend the change, but I've been playing on a PC in some capacity for many, many, many years now, ever since I was a small child. So, but the people you should listen to on getting a PC are Trev and Melly and Morgan, who when I met them, and I haven't known them for longer than a year, they were all on PS4. And now they are all on PC.
We have joined the PC master race.
And I think, especially Morgan has made like a surprisingly like full and complete change over to PC, and now like can't deal with controller aiming and is like mouse and keyboard only.
Yeah, it's so much better. Like,
So-
I think that I've said it before, because the thing that I like about the controller is having all of the buttons right under my thumbs and stuff. Like, meleeing for me is so much easier on like PS4 on Borderlands, because like I can run forward and just click on the right stick and I'll just melee. I mean, lately on Overwatch, I actually did switch over my melee button to a button on my mouse, and I've kind of remembered using it now. But like on the keyboard though, like having to move my hand a bit to get to a certain button just to melee is like, it can be kind of difficult. At least that's just for me. But so like for me, like it sucks because I like all the buttons of a controller, but the aiming of the mouse is so much better, and that's why I will take over the controller.
The thing that gets me about controller aiming is just like, what if you need to turn around really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
That's when
just-
you set your sensitivity to.
It's sensitivity like 10 or something like that. Like
That's what I used to play on. I used to play on the highest sensitivity.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me even a little bit. We've all seen Trev's DPI. All right,
It's
we've
lower
all
now, but
we've all been frightened by that integer, but
So Talos,
damn.
my recommendation is only go to PC if you have people to play with. If you're doing
that's a
it,
good
and
point.
unless you're only going to play solo games, like single player games, I wouldn't do it unless you're going to be
I
playing with like
disagree.
friends and stuff.
Ash
Ooh.
disagrees. All right,
I
State your
disagree.
case. State
fire
your
away.
case.
Well, mine's the same thing as like Trevor, Sugar, and Morgan. I only play PS4 games, and I like only stream direct from PS4 like almost my entire streaming career. And then I switched to PC like 2.5 years ago, and I found way more friends like through PC gaming than on console. People are way less toxic because they're usually a lot more, or I don't want to say a lot more older, that sounds wrong, a lot older, because you're going to get a lot of young people on console, and they're not going to have the same kind of connection with you. And like, oh yeah, you still have like a group of friends to play on console, but once you're on PC, people are a lot more friendly. People are more willing to group up. It's easier to chit chat with them. Like if that's a problem. Also, too, like just in general, the amount of games that are open to you. Like everyone's like, oh, there's an exclusive on PS4, which I love my PS4 and I love the exclusives, but there's way more game choices on PC.
Oh yeah,
like
it's not even
the
close. I mean,
the pros of owning a PC, if you can build a nice one or pick up a nice one, are worth it. If you can only pick up like a crappy like desktop or laptop that's just like barely runs, it's not worth the investment. But if you can actually have a gaming PC, something that's going to run at least on medium settings for most games, it's 100% worth it to put in, you know, $600, $1,000 into something that's going to last you forever, and you can swap out the parts as they come out new, or you want to upgrade things. Just in general, it's a much better investment. Consoles are great. I love my consoles, but if I was to like save one, it would always be the PC, even if I don't have friends that come over, because you'll make friends on PC way faster.
I want to echo everything Ash said, but I want to add something specific. There are specific use cases where you don't want to switch over, i.e. if your thing is JRPGs, you don't want to switch from the PS4. Like, if you only play JRPGs, you need to stay on the PlayStation, because you're going to have a hard time. But if your thing is just like, I'm just looking to play whatever, then the PC has like the exclusives are like countless.
Yeah,
right?
If you like indie games are a great way to go on PC, because most of the time they kind of tend to go to PC first and then they come to console. So that's what I would say too. But yeah, I mean, like, if anything, going like, now that I have a PC, like finding out like how many more games that there are and how much easier it is to play online with people. Because, like, for example, okay, like, I have all the systems, you know, I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, I have a Nintendo. And the bad part about that is, in order to, like, if I had friends on all of those, especially now that Nintendo has done this, and I have the PlayStation one and I have the Nintendo one, but if I wanted to play with all my friends who play on all different consoles, I have to pay for, it's a $60 subscription for PS4, and then another $60 one for Xbox, and then a $20 one for PlayStation or for Nintendo, which does kind of get a little bit aggravating at times, because like, I just so I can play a game with my friend, like just so I can play Overwatch, for example, with one of my friends who doesn't get to play all that much. So I only, like, for example, I only play Overwatch once a week or like once a month, because this is when my friend can play. It's like, what's the point in having Xbox Live, right? And paying for that subscription when that's the only thing that you're doing, versus, you know, like, we're already paying for the system, and I have already paid for the computer. I'm paying for the internet also to be able to get on and do that. That's kind of one of the good parts that I really like about PlayStation. I like about PC as well, is that, I mean, besides like subscriptions for like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14, I guess it depends on those. But the fact that you can just get on whenever you want to, as long as you have internet, I like that a lot. I think 100%. That's really nice.
Hey Lonnie, how are you? It's good to see you.
Hi, Lonnie.
Yeah, I definitely think that's, yeah, there are specific use cases where you have a subscription. Also, I think honestly, part of like the PC is a big part of like my social life, and like now the PC has its own like the PC, you know, I have Discord here, you know what I mean? I can, you know, use Discord easily and talk to my friends while playing games, and I don't have to like get on Discord on my phone or whatever. And so I think that just like the whole thing, having like Twitch, Discord, and my video games all in the one space is very easy. The issue with the launchers is a bit of a tedious thing now, because there's more and more things coming out with launchers. But GOG Galaxy 2.0 is coming out eventually, and that should unify the launchers if that works properly, which I dearly hope it does.
I just wanted to add one more.
Overall, that's true. Yeah.
One more thing. I hate to say it, but like, we have a beautiful relationship that was only possible because of
don't start adding to that.
We do.
And like, I know from me, not even that, even just friendships. Like, I found some of my best friends through PC gaming.
So did I.
And
all of them are right here.
Yeah, and I'm so lucky, and like, yeah, I would never had that relationship.
It's an excellent point. It's an excellent point, Ash.
Yeah.
No, honestly, now that you say that, though, I don't know why I didn't think of that too. But that is completely like Well, like I've talked to Melly almost every single day for more than a year. You know, like she's one of my best friends. Trev and Rory and you, Ash, like you guys, you guys are some of my best friends, and like I cherish that a lot. And no, you're completely right. Like I don't think I would have just run into like Melly or Trev or Rory or anybody just on PS4, especially because a lot of the games now, like Overwatch, is what I really kind of bonded with you guys over. I think that was really the first one, and then Borderlands. Like I wasn't too terribly interested in Borderlands. I liked like the style of it and the humor and everything, but I never really wanted to play because it was first person. And I only just started playing first person since I got on PC. And now because of that, like I'm totally into trying any first person game. And if I hadn't done any of that, I probably wouldn't exactly be here. So
Also, Discord was a huge part. Like
Discord,
life changing.
Me and Morgan spent many a night talking on Discord after the gaming was all done, and that was very important.
No, absolutely. I think that just making it easy, like to kind of age me a bit, like Ventrilo and things like that were some of like the best things available, and Discord is just taking it up a notch.
I don't even know what Ventrilo is.
Lonnie,
what is Ventrilo? I don't know what that is either.
Ventrilo is like another like chat bot, but someone would have to buy a server, and we'd all. Like,
that sounds like.
you remember TeamSpeak, Ash?
It's like another TeamSpeak.
Yeah. TeamSpeak.
I liked Vent better though.
Wait, Trev, did you and I try to get TeamSpeak working one night, or was that me and Caroline? Oh no, it was me and Caroline, because Caroline was like, I guess didn't want to use Discord for some reason that night, and was like, let's just set up a TeamSpeak. I'm like, I am not setting up a fucking TeamSpeak.
It's a pain in the ass. Yeah,
it's 2019.
2004, and I was doing some hardcore like molten core raids. It'd be different, but like, no, just makes it too easy. And
TeamSpeak is literally, I think it's just like 35-year-old dudes that are too into My Little Pony now. Like, I think that's the only people left.
Okay, listen. My dad plays DOD and talks to his 65-year-old buddies in TeamSpeak. Okay. If you guys don't know what DOD is, it's Day of Defeat, which is one of the oldest FPS games out there. And my dad still plays it since launch with literally people he's been playing with for 20 years.
Good night, John.
Zippy, Zippy has a question for Morgan. I think it was directed at you, Morgan. I guess he's surprised to learn that you just started with FPS, and have you played Portal? I don't think you have.
I've not played Portal. I've thought about it. Wasn't completely sure.
If you want to play Portal 2 co-op, let me know and we can do that.
I remember.
I think that should be
Hold on. I'm gonna stop Rory right here.
It's a good test of communication.
I'm gonna stop Rory right here because I remember way back in the day when I first got a PC, I was like, "Hey, we should do Portal 2 co-op," and you're like, "Yeah, we should," and we never did it.
I forgot about that.
Oh
shit.
Let me just tell you something. My brother, who's supposed to love me unconditionally, has hated me since we played Portal 2 together because it is so hard.
I was gonna say that was like one of my favorite streams you ever did. Were you trying to do like a 24-hour stream and you played Portal 2 with your brother?
Oh god! And we were purposely killing each other at the end because we just hated each other's guts.
That is the
purpose of Portal 2 is to kill each other.
I think you know what? I have faith in me and Morgan. I think we can do it.
See, I played Portal 2. I played Portal 2 with Tater, and I feel like we became better friends after.
So it can go one way or the other, right? Your bond grows stronger.
Yeah, our bond grew stronger.
You'll learn so much about him.
There's this one podcaster I listened to, and she was talking about how whenever she dates someone, she makes them play Portal 2 with her as almost like a test.
Oh god! Like a test of intelligence or a test?
No, like a test of like compatibility and communication. Like, okay, if like we can actually play this game together.
That's like That's like too fucking meta for me because the whole point of Portal is that it's a test. Like that's like literally like the story.
You are running through
test
servers.
Fucking me up a little bit.
That does make.
Like she's literally the IRL bad guy of Portal. Like what the fuck?
She's GLaDOS. Was her name GLaDOS?
That's so. It's like date number 3 or 4. I think is what she said. I was like, oh my god, this is next level. This is next level.
Zippy, you might know the same person then, because.
Yeah, it's the exact same person.
Wait, yeah. Have you ever been Portal 2'd by someone? That's the question.
I feel like this is a strategy we all need to start using. Like in the future, it's just like if you want to be friends with somebody, like, all right, do you have Portal 2?
Let's
figure
this out right now. See how long this will go.
I have a question for Ash, and Ash, it's a bit of a
Lay it
long
on
one. And I apologize.
Okay,
in
here we go.
advance.
I'm
Let's
excited.
go. This is what
So-
we're here for.
I want to know your Twitch story, and in particular, with like as you progress in the story, particular attention paid to how you know like Melly and Trev. And how
Okay.
you met them
I
on
actually wrote
Twitch.
this up, but it's in like a.
Okay.
You
Fridge
wrote it
form.
up?
Well, no,
You wrote
I
it-
like
Did you read it
explained
after?
I
or-
explained it the way I found.
This is gonna
but-
be a long. It's gonna be a long answer.
Now, fire away. It's like a billion-hour podcast.
So let's start like 2000, early 2014. So I was really into StarCraft 2, if you guys are familiar. And
Yep.
I started watching Twitch when Day 9 did a 24-hour countdown to the launch of Wings of Liberty.
Mhm.
And that was my first experience with Twitch.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to my then partner at the time and my brother, and they're like, you should start streaming on Twitch because you play so many games anyway. And I was like, I don't know, like it's really, I at the time too, I was like very self-conscious. I was like, people are gonna be mean, they're gonna call you fat, they're gonna like, you know, bring out things that you're like, I didn't even know I should be self-conscious about this. So like I did not want to stream on the internet. But then my brother was like, just do it like 1 or 2 days, right? And I had a friend, his name's Grant. He's a part of the crew for Hey Ash, What You Playing? If you're familiar, it's yeah. So like Ashley, the voice actress from Life is Strange and Horizon Zero Dawn, like he was like in that crew with her, and they used to do a Twitch stream all the time. And so I hit up Grant and I was like, I think I'm gonna try. I was like, my brother really thinks I should play and like start streaming. And he's like, you can borrow my laptop. And it was a really powerful laptop. So I was like, okay. So I did 2 Hearthstone streams on it. And I was doing it and I did not like it. I did not like it. I was like, I hate this. This is so awkward. I was like, I just want to play games and not think about my face. Because I also like, I have tendency to like play with my mouth open. So like this. You know, like when you're really focused, like you know what I'm talking about, and then you like have to stop yourself, or like you're like you're just like stupid as hell, right? So I just felt uncomfortable, and I was like, I feel like this is my special time, like playing video games, because at the time I worked for Amazon as well, so it was like really long days, and I just like I didn't feel like doing the extra work. And then I worked on a project for Amazon in Northern California, like opening their very first like brick and mortar store. And I met a bunch of like other Amazon employees. And so I was talking to one of them, his name's Aaron. I literally just talked about this, and Aaron like really pushed me. He's like, you gotta stream. He's like, if you like it, this is like the best time to like get on and start streaming. And this was like in November, December when I was talking to him about it. And Amazon had just decided to buy Twitch. And I was like, you know what? This could be a really good thing if I want to like move over to Twitch to start working. You know, like I wanted to work in the gaming industry. And I was like, I already work for Amazon. Like if I start streaming on Twitch, I'll be like a better part, like, and have an idea of like the whole system. So I started streaming in December of 2014, like actually streaming. And I played Evil Within from start to finish 3 times on stream, and I loved it, and I had such a good time. But I would say, just like anybody that doesn't stream, when you beat a game that you've been waiting for and there's nothing really else out, like you're not really playing anything, you know? Like you just like back then I would play something heavily and then I just wouldn't touch anything until the next game that I was looking forward to came out, if that makes sense. Like and then Journey came out. A remastered version of Journey came out, and I started streaming again. And that's when I met Trevor.
No, I met you during Batman.
Trev was browsing
no.
Journey's stream?
Interesting.
You come in before.
No,
And then
the first day. I remember the first day.
Was it Batman?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
Batman.
then
Yeah.
then it was Batman came out. I feel like it was, but okay, I modded him during Journey. but that's
Yeah,
a
that
different
was it.
story that I'll get
got
into.
modded.
Ooh.
So I started playing Batman, and I think that was like a couple months after I finished Evil Within, and then I started streaming like again heavily. And Trevor came in and he's like, "You're so beautiful." He's like, "You
Oh
can
my
say
God,
anything,"
Trev.
and I was like, "You don't know me." Right? And he's like, "You're so beautiful." And he used to like come in, and I was like, "I don't know if he's creepy or what." Like, and I was like, "But I didn't honestly. If Trevor of 2015 came in today, they would be banned in the first 2 comments."
Yeah.
But
Gone.
like,
Banned by Trev of 2019.
yeah, banned by
2019
Immediately.
Trevor
Trev would ban 2015 Trev. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and
Trev from the future.
I was like, I don't know, like, because I didn't know what to expect. Like, honestly, like, when you start
Crepe, you're
streaming,
about to get shot, by the way. Be careful.
Trevor was literally. That's why Trevor wanted to unban G's Boy, because he saw himself in G's Boy.
Oh my
he saw
gosh, the
redemption
truth.
arc?
The
Oh,
truth
That's
comes out.
not what
Oh my God.
I'm
happened.
looking for the redemption,
Is JB 2067
Yeah.
gonna be a mod?
right? Who knows? Who knows? But so that's when I met Trevor, and I started streaming again. I needed new mods because I wasn't like I didn't have any because I wasn't streaming like for months at a time. And then I started playing Journey after that, and I modded Trevor, right? So this I've streamed on PS4 back then, right? And freaking it was hard to get a stream like working well because on PC you can troubleshoot easily. And so I modded Trevor. First day I mod Trevor, he tells me my stream goes down, and it wasn't down. So then I'm like, oh, I gotta restart my PlayStation. So then I restarted, and then I come back, and everyone's like, your stream wasn't down. He was just trolling you. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I banned him. I was so fucking pissed at him. Like, I was like, why did I even do that? Like, why did I mod him, right? But then, of course, like, time went by, and I didn't stream for months and months and months. Like, because I just never streamed consistently. And it just, I don't know what it. Okay, so I guess this is like semi-sad, but not really sad. So I streamed like on and off, like I said, like whenever a new game would come out. And then I got laid off from my job. And I had all this. Well, I called my old boss and I was like, hey, I need a job, blah, blah, blah. So I had a month in between when I was working. And I was like, I'm just going to go hard and stream the whole time and have fun. Because I have a freaking job coming up. I'm just going to stream and wait it off and whatever. So I started playing like Battlefield 4 and Battlefront and a couple other games, Final Fantasy 15, and I did really well in them. And I built up like a better community, a better channel, and then within a couple months, I got like partnered in the same year. This is the 2016, I think, right before like affiliate became a thing, and it was amazing. I loved it, and I worked a job almost the entire time with it full time, and it's just been an interesting ride seeing it from 2014 to almost 2020, seeing how the site has like changed and the type of people that come in and out. Even the type of trolls that we have are so different from when I started. It's like, so I wish I could go over all the crap that I've seen and all like the really small minute things that are like you don't even think about. It's just interesting.
I have a lot of those screenshotted.
I know, right? Some of them are really funny.
How far into your stream lifetime did you meet Melly?
So okay, should I out Sugar right now?
Yes, you
Oh
should.
my God, I'm so ready.
Okay, so I think almost 2 years ago, right? It was like a little bit before like you were like a part of the community.
Yes,
Trevor scared her away. She would have been a part sooner, but Trevor was an asshole and scared her away.
Yeah, I started
just
following
weeding
you.
out people for you.
You almost weeded me out.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Came back.
Yeah, I started following you 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I would just come in. I didn't chat a whole lot back then. I would just come in and lurk and see what's up. And,
Listen, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people were scared, and that's why.
But I was
And
scared of Trevor. I was like, who is this asshole? Like, I don't
Yeah,
like
You
this.
know what's funny? Paka says the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I literally, I think I like stopped coming by for like 8 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
And I don't know what it was, but like she talked and like I saw her name and I was like, oh, so she's a girl, which is perfect because like I've told this to Sugar so many times that like if a girl comes into your chat and is friendly and you like talking to them, chances are you're going to make a really good friend. Like anytime a girl comes into my chat, I was like, ooh, it's time to make a new friend. Like I'm excited to play because like 9 times out of 10, like I don't accept like DMs or friend requests from men because there's like I'm sorry to like say this, but there's always an ulterior motive. Almost always. 9 times out of
This
10.
is 100% true. Yeah.
And
Men
I'm
are
not
creeps,
trying to
you
like
can
be
say it, it's okay.
sexist or like you know, but like when a girl comes in and she's like, "Oh, you want to play games?" I'll send them a friend request or vice versa, and like I have no issues, right? I mean, I think I maybe had like an issue with like one girl and that's it. And that was
Yeah.
like kind of like not really an issue, you know? Like it's just one of those things that like as soon as a girl comes in, for me, it's like an opportunity to make like a new girlfriend that has the same interests. And
Right on.
being like from where I'm from, like it's just really hard to find female friends that are into gaming. Like I have my sister-in-law and then like my best girlfriend back home, but like other than that, it's like no one else plays games. So like as soon as like I said, like I'm like I see a girl's name, I'm like Sugar Melly, that sounds adorable. She must be a cute girl. And like I was right. And then we just started chit-chatting and I think we just kind of just hit it off, you know? And
See,
then
I'm the same way too.
yeah, oh yeah. And you know, sadly, it's true. Like anytime I've ever accepted a friend request from a male, not every time, 9 times out of 10, it always turns, unless I set ground rules or like, you know, some sort of like guard up, it just goes like wrong. And so
This does not surprise me at all.
and I wish I could get into the details of all like the weird things that are from like asking for special selfies to bring their mood up to like that's your
Oh,
penis.
what?
Yeah.
So the first one, like they're both like shocking and disturbing in their own right. But
Oh,
the
I
first
can-
one in particular, I find more like I find that very surprising. Like that's a very
Okay,
like
let me
That's
tell
very
you. Let me
specific.
get like because
Oh, we're
Trevor
getting real.
and Sugar knows. I'm gonna get fucking real because I'm from SoCal, so we get real down there. Okay.
From
And so okay, there was a person in my community who needed like came in my chat and who needed a friend. I'm not gonna get too specific into it because they will literally call this person out. But like they needed a friend and they asked if they could message me and 100% I almost always say no just because like it could put me in a compromising situation I don't want to be in. And like that's not always true. It sucks because then you close out people that can be great friends that aren't trying to look for something else. But I try to keep that rule with men specifically. And I broke that rule. I said, you know what? Like, go ahead, message me. I was like, if you're depressed and stuff, I was like, I totally relate to that. Like, I know what it's like to feel like you can't talk to someone. So feel free to reach out. And if you just need to put your emotions down there, that's great. So this person, they maybe send me like 2 messages. We're like, oh, you know, I'm sad, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, don't worry. We love you, blah, blah, blah. And then they pretty much go, you know what make me feel really, really, really good, a lot better? And I was like, what? They're like, could you send me a specific smiling selfie of yourself just for me so I'll feel better? And I was like, this mother... like, you think you can manipulate me? Like, absolutely. Like, that's more effed up than sending me a picture of your penis. Okay? Because you
It's
tried
certainly
to
more-
emotionally manipulate me.
Yeah.
And like, I warned this person. I was like, if you ask for this again, you will be banned from my community. Because, like, that's not okay. It's creepy. And I was like, if you need a selfie of me, guess what? My Instagram's open, bitch. Okay? Go look at a selfie there. And, like,
Really?
it's true. Like, you laugh because you know dudes are creepy like that. And, like, And then you know what they did? They asked for another one to try and manipulate me again they tried to use depression in order to try to manipulate me because they know that a lot of people suffer from depression. And they want to try and use that point in order to emotionally manipulate people. And so I had to eventually ban this person from my community. And then they act like, why would I get banned? Oh, maybe because I creepily asked her for pictures of herself so I could jerk off. Like, what the fuck? Sorry. It just bothers me. But that's why Sugar, I was like, a girl!
See, I'm the same way though, because like even on like PlayStation 4, like even playing like Friday the 13th, I would get a random friend request from some dude that I just played with, and I'd be like, nope, I don't think so. Yeah. But as soon as like I get a friend request from a girl that I had just played with, I was like, okay.
Yeah, because you know they're not weird.
Girls.
Like, I honestly, whoever said that women were more dramatic than men haven't been 30 yet, okay? Because this is not true. But yeah, sorry, rant over.
No, you don't have to be sorry. This is like, you don't have to like filter yourself at all on the podcast. Like, this is good. I like this. I enjoy this quite a lot.
Okay, good.
This is quality
this is a
content.
Conversation.
This is quality content,
that
Ash.
me and Morgan
But
have.
that's
This
why
checks
I
off
like-
the educational part.
Like,
But that's why I loved Sugar and I loved Morgan so much, because it was like there's a safety to it. There's like a safety that like you don't find, and like outside of that though, like I'm gonna cry because I've been drinking. But like there's something so special because you don't like meet a lot of women like without this. Like for me, without this site, without playing video games like the way we do as a community, I wouldn't have like two amazing like girlfriends from it, or plus more. Like, so I will take the dick pics if I still get to keep these amazing female friendships. Okay.
that's a really strong endorsement.
That's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me. I will keep the dick pics if it means I can keep you.
Yeah.
On a related side note, I also love Morgan.
That was so cute. I changed the F word to chocolate.
The drink's getting to her.
No, it's just like, I'm always cryy, but like I've been drinking a little bit. I'm like, I just love them.
Oh, Richard's here now. We can talk about SoCal more.
What's all this then? Oh,
Okay, can I make a nice comment? Richard's not creepy.
Richard's not creepy. All right.
Richard's not.
I talk to Richard like almost every day. Not a creepy dude. So you see, there's the 1 in the 10. Trevor's is the 9.
Not yet.
But yeah, long story.
Okay, Ash, I wanted to ask you another question.
Okay. Oh God. Beware.
And this sort of segues into how this sort of generally goes is once we've just sort of like talked about things and discussed with our guests a little bit their history, we generally talk about like things that are happening now in like the climate of video games and related entertainment. And you have an experience related to that we don't have, which is that you were just at BlizzCon.
Yes.
Well, okay, I guess before I ask you anything about BlizzCon, is it your first BlizzCon, and which other ones have you been to?
No. Okay, so I'm actually, this is going to be the first time I've ever said this out loud. I'm born and raised from Orange County. So Blizzard
This is in California?
Yes, yeah.
In
So
SoCal
I'm born and
specifically.
in SoCal,
Okay,
bitch.
yeah. I'm Canadian, so I don't know anything about
just to
these,
clarify,
like-
I'm in Orange County, but I'm in Orange County, Florida. So there's a
Yeah,
difference.
so I'm born and raised from Orange County, where Blizzard originated from, and they've done every single BlizzCon. So I have gone to every single BlizzCon since 2007. The only one I missed was the original in 2005. I have every single one of my badges hung on the wall.
Mel and I got to see the boxes and the badges and everything.
Yeah.
Up close and personal.
So it's one of my favorite conventions. I do have a lot of opinions on it since I've been going for over a decade. And I've seen it like change and evolve, and seen them like specifically change since they were purchased by Activision. I've toured the campus of Blizzard. I've done lots of that stuff. So yeah, it's not my first. I've been to almost all of them but one. And it's one of my favorites, even now.
So
I have a small question. I just kind of realized, if you don't mind, I mean, like if you don't really have a specific one, what do you think? Because I know you've played a lot of Blizzard games. What do you think might be your favorite one? Like, even just right now, what do you think is your favorite?
So I have a special connection with Blizzard games. So most of you guys know I have 2 older brothers, and I almost played video games with them exclusively because I'm actually one of the last generations that didn't have internet growing up. I'm just on that cusp of being old enough where like I didn't have internet for like the first 10 years of my life. So when I did have a desktop, I only LANed, and I LANed with my brothers. So we'd play Diablo together, we play StarCraft together, and I think those 2 titles have a specific special place in my heart because we pretty much just only played together, and it was amazing. I loved that, right? And I wouldn't say StarCraft is my favorite because I'm not a big RTS person, but Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, which is the like DLC / the expansion to Diablo 2, is probably my favorite game of all time. Besides Last of Us, just because the amount of hours that I put in, and yeah, the loot in the game is amazing. I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure of playing Lord of Destruction, but it's one of the best games
ever made.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't really start playing Diablo 3 until recently. Actually, I laid it
What
off
do you
to Diablo
think?
3. It's different
Yeah.
now, but it's really good. It's really good with people, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what sells it to me. Is like
I don't hate Diablo 3. I think a lot of people hate Diablo 3, and I don't hate it. I
it's
just
not
don't think
Diablo 2 or Diablo 1.
No.
But
you
it's
have to
really
think about
good.
the amount of years between LOD and Diablo 3. How many of those people that worked on that game are still working on D3?
That's
Not
a
very
good
many.
point.
And they-
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and like with them releasing D3, the state of gaming was so different than it was when LOD was released, and the way they wanted to implement multiplayer. You can only imagine the amount of pressure they had when releasing it. Plus, they had the real money auction house, which they thought was going to be like cryptocurrency without having like a cryptocurrency microtransactions.
Yeah, I knew what you were getting at. Yeah.
Microtransactions without actually having microtransactions. So it was a different state of gaming when D3 was launched. I don't think it's a bad game. I liked Reaper of Souls. I thought it was fun. I played it through a couple times, but I don't think it's something I would sit like LOD. I could sit and play by myself forever, like for hours on end. But D3, like you said, if you have a group, it's so fun. You just run through, you do the bosses, and you have a blast.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Have you
Is
tried
this a
Path of
game,
Exile yet? By the way.
who? What? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Path of Exile. Have you tried it yet?
I have tried Path of Exile. My problem with Path of Exile is it's a lot more punishing. Like,
Yes, it is.
and I feel like it's coming into it like years later. I feel almost lost. Like I feel like it's like, okay, I know if people can do it, but it's like walking into World of Warcraft now and being like, why does the world look like this? Why, but if you played from start to current, it's like, oh, you saw the world change, and Path of Exiles is like that. I feel like they've added so many characters. Like I tried it, I went into the town, and it was like you were talking to so many people, and there was so much information that you're trying to listen to, and you're like, I've obviously missed world events over a long period of time, and I just felt lost. I wasn't having like a good enough time with Path of Exiles, if that makes
Morgan,
sense.
you had a question for Ash as well?
I was just gonna ask if Diablo 2 is on Steam or anything.
It's on
Battle.net.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it on Battle.net? Okay.
And if
Diablo
you wanna-
1 is on GOG as well.
It's so fun. Honestly, if you want to play, I mean, it's going to feel dated because you have to remember this is like 1999, 2001, like
Oh, yeah,
it's
that kind of
early
stuff
PC
doesn't bother me.
gaming. But it's amazing. The story is so good. And at the time, like we were talking, like BioShock was revolutionary. Diablo 2 was one of the most revolutionary games to ever come out. And for me, it was, I probably have one of the, like a special connection because it's one of the games that I played through with my brothers, so that was really special for me.
Is Crepe kidding?
No, Crepe is only like 20 years old.
Oh, no way. I never knew that. You never get a sense of how old people are, I think, sometimes on Twitch when you just
He
like
also
play
doesn't
games
act
with
like a
them.
little child.
I think, you
I
know
think
what?
that's
I
what
think
did
that's
it.
actually what I was trying to say, but dodging
Yeah.
around.
Oh, sorry,
this
my
must
bad.
Be is this this Southern California thing you were telling me about, where you
Oneness,
say it
yes.
as it is, or
Just-
No, I'm just a bitch. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, can I ask you before we get into the BlizzCon stuff? You mentioned
Yeah.
StarCraft. You mentioned you had played StarCraft 1 and 2. What race are you?
Okay. I played Zerg in StarCraft 1,
Okay, yeah.
but I switched to Terran in StarCraft 2. Even though Zerg is easier to play,
Never
always.
Protoss.
I never played Protoss. Yeah. But
Interesting.
I do have my little drone behind me that lights up. So,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. So I think I had the connection with Kerrigan because I always loved her story when I was young. So I played the Zerg, and I was like, I always kind of like, you have this imagination where you're like, oh, I'm just like Kerrigan, where I'm like running my Zerg, you know, like.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think because Wings of Liberty was the first, and just playing through the
Yeah.
Terran missions, I just felt more comfortable with Terran.
Sure, that makes sense to me. StarCraft was a big part of like my old job. Like I never worked with it, but a lot of the researchers in my lab were doing their research on StarCraft.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of exposure to just like watching people talk about StarCraft AI all day.
Now,
which
super
was
random
fun.
little fact about StarCraft. Now, Blizzard's home base is in Irvine, in Orange County,
Yes.
and UCI, University of Irvine, which is like pretty close to it. They have a class all about RTS games with a focus on StarCraft because they're so close. So they do research on the process of like map building and the different races and how to balance them. It's really interesting.
That stuff
Just
does
super
sound
fun
really
fact.
good, actually. That sounds like it would be right up my alley. I should read about that, actually.
Yeah.
So
no, go ahead.
yeah, no, you go
Oh,
ahead.
they said so at the same time. It's so cute.
Well, I was gonna go on with BlizzCon stuff, but no, you can go, Rory.
No, but I was also about to go on with BlizzCon stuff. So I'll let you
Kidding,
go.
really? So I was just gonna ask, it can be for this year too, like, cause I know, I've been to cons and stuff, so I know like how things can change from year to year and everything. But like, what's been like one of your favorite things about BlizzCons?
Okay, so I'll say a couple memories over the years.
The Diablo announcement
So-
last year.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, Immortals. Immortals just got me so good. So I think one of my favorite memories from 2007, my first BlizzCon, they used to have like you could just walk in. There was no like
What? You can just walk
it
in.
didn't sell out. It didn't sell out. You could just go up, you bought a ticket, you walked in, and then you got to play. At the time, it was Burning Crusades, like D2, StarCraft or Brood War, like like a bunch of like you could just play a bunch of Blizzard games. It was not a big deal whatsoever, and they had booths where you could put tickets in with your badge, right? So since you had a badge, you could go up and like put a little ticket in for free with your name on it. I won a Logitech mouse that I used forever from my first BlizzCon. I think I just got rid of it the other day just because I was like, it's my memory from BlizzCon 2007. I can't get rid of this mouse. And like, that's one of my favorite memories was just like how easy and simple. And like, you could, like I said, win giveaways because there was just so few people there. And then probably my next favorite one was the announcement for D3 because I don't want to say leaks weren't a thing, but like when D3 was announced, like it wasn't the same kind of thing where people were like on the internet like speculating, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same kind of thing. And so we had gone like us as like a family. It was like me, my two brothers, my sister-in-law, and we were waiting for them to do their opening ceremonies, which is usually like, oh, World of Warcraft announcements, everything. And we're sitting there, and it's the last announcement. And then you see the church scene, and like they have the D3 cinematic trailer, and like we all were screaming, like the whole crowd was going wild. It was probably one of the most exciting experiences of my entire life. Was everybody being completely surprised? Like D4 is not a surprise at all. Like, and I would love to go into why I think it's not a surprise, but like it's so incredible. That was one of my favorites. I'm trying to think of what else is like. I think that every year they've gotten worse, so it's harder for me to like pick things that stand out in my brain.
It was worse this year than last year?
No, it was better. It was better
Okay.
this year than last year.
But like overall, there's been like
Okay,
an
overall
The
decline.
curve
Yeah,
has been
it-
going down.
I was gonna
not-
ask. Like, has there been like things that you haven't liked about BlizzCons in the past or this year, for example?
Well, okay, as a lot of you know, like I did marketing for almost a decade of my life before I just did exclusively streaming. And so before Activision, I don't want to blame Activision, but before Activision, BlizzCon was every 2 to 3 years. They didn't do BlizzCon every year. It was an event that went through because they don't have enough games to have a product to show every year, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That
So-
they can't justify having a con every single
There's
year.
no reason to. It's just a waste of money. But after Activision, we're seeing a BlizzCon every year. And that's because they need shareholders to think they're profitable, not because they're ready to show off products, which I think makes their products worse and takes away from actually working on games that we want. Like, and for those that are old like me, play Blizzard games, we all know that Blizzard takes forever to launch anything. Like, why I mentioned the D3 trailer is because it had been a decade, since we'd seen anything Diablo. It wasn't like we're always like, we can't wait for Diablo 3, but it takes forever. And like, it took 4 years after the D3 trailer for it to even come out. Because Blizzard just takes forever to do anything, but their games are usually solid. Like, D3 was their first, like, mishap, and it wasn't even that bad. I think people hate on it a lot more than it deserves. But I think that doing a BlizzCon every year takes away from the announcements. It takes away from the event. Like, last year is a great example of that. It is a great example. Trying to showcase a mobile game, Immortals, was a complete disaster. And that's because they had nothing else to show. It's not because, they're assholes and they wanted to do this or, they're just trying to make money. It's because they have to have a BlizzCon in order for people to think they're making money and to continue to invest in them. That's literally the only reason. And that's why we're having shitty cinematics, shitty game launches. That's why. And if they did it every 2 years, we would have a much more stable, I don't want to use the word promises, but we'd see a lot more out of them if we waited every 2 years, but they can't anymore because it's so important for them to continue to have investments from people and to continue to look profitable.
I feel like it can just kind of be like that, like with certain games and stuff, like remember when, I think it was Ubisoft went on a bit of a break. I mean, I think part of it was also because they were doing the movie. But when, and it's not like I've played Origins, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it. But Origins came out, and a lot of people had said that it just felt different, especially because they took not just 1 year to make the game, but 2 years instead. And a lot of people said, yeah, actually, this was like a bit different. Like it felt nicer, it felt cleaner, it felt like a better game than just bringing out one game year after year, because they don't have much time to work on things after that, like you have a year to work on it, and then after it's out you work on it again for another year, when instead if you take like 2 to 3 years to make a game, or it can be a lot longer than that even,
like Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 15.
15 was over a decade because they released it with the 13 trailer. So if you think about it,
Yeah, exactly.
It was originally called 13 Verses, and like those characters like were already there. They were already ready. It just took them that long to get it out.
Oh no, go ahead, Morgan.
Oh no, I was just kind of finishing up. That's pretty much what I mean. Because I mean, like when it comes to like the BlizzCons and everything, like they can do more things. Like they can figure things out a little bit more. They can have more time, to prepare. Like maybe they have a game that they're excited about, that they want to get it out there, but they're just not ready to show it yet.
I was wondering, Ash, if you think that same reason then might be part of it, because I've been trying to figure out for a long time why Bethesda's been holding regular E3s when Bethesda doesn't have enough products to justify regular E3 showings. Do you think it's like the same thing? Do you think it's a thing for share? I don't know anything about business really.
Okay, well, like I said, I can this is like something that like I'm very familiar with, and like really the only reason why okay, I'm gonna go on my E3 rant. So like I said again, like E3 is something that I used to go to like as a SoCal native. It used to go to when it wasn't open to the public, and So if I compare my experience with like going to E3 when it was just to show off to other companies what they had. So like pretty much E3 was originally like, this is what we're working on as a company. We want to see what you're working on. It was other companies, other electronic companies showing off what they had and not necessarily trying to sell a product. E3 today is trying to sell a product and trying to get investments so that they can continue making games. Because now that gaming is, I mean, it's been for years, but it's kind of been like a sleeper thing, makes more money than the music and the movie industry combined. They have a lot of pressure on them in order to continue making money. That's why, like, we don't like there's a lot of games being pumped out that aren't as good. That's why AAA titles versus indie titles, there's this shift in what's better. Indie titles are so much stronger because they have a lot less pressure to try and meet quotas, try and meet like other like investments and pre-orders and all that other thing. Like I've talked about this on E3. I feel like E3 is literally just trying to sell you on something so they can make enough money in order to pump out a game. I don't want to see a game at E3 that's not within a year.
Yeah,
There's just-
yeah, I agree. I don't want to see anything but gameplay generally before I try to get excited about.
I love cinematics. Like a great example, since we all love Overwatch. Overwatch cinematics make the game and me love the characters more. But I want to see gameplay. I don't want to see where they're at. If you don't have within a year of the game coming out, please do not show me a cinematic. Please don't show me anything else. Like, and you know why they do that? It's because they need pre-orders because they don't have enough money to fund their project without it. And
well, Shenmue was a perfect example of that, right? Where they said, "Hey, we're doing Shenmue 3 if you give us money."
Or
I'm gonna play devil's advocate though. Is like those showcasing when they're trying to like garner investments? Isn't that just kind of like a necessary evil to keep this going? Like, what's the alternative?
Yes and no. Like, I understand that it's so important. Like, pre-orders are a great idea to see how your game's going to do and how much money you want to actually pump into the title before you release it. It is smart. It's like taking a head count so you know whether, like, okay, I'm going to use another really good example. Terminator Dark Fate just came out. It's getting very good reviews for being a Terminator film that's not T1 or T2. But it's a complete flop. And that's because, like, they overestimated the amount of people that are still interested and still have hope in the franchise, So by not putting ticket sales ahead of time or things like that, or like tried to market it beforehand, I think their biggest mistake was not marketing it while they were filming it. They did absolutely no marketing for it during filming, which was a huge mistake for them. And I think that can happen to games as well. But like another great example for Ubisoft, they showed up Beyond Good and Evil 2. 3 years ago.
Oh.
Where is another cinematic? Where is our gameplay?
And it was a good cinematic too. That one actually made me excited because Beyond Good and Evil is badass and like.
But why did they do it?
Game. I really wish they would do another more stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
But why did they do it? It's the same year that they said that Uplay would be a solo launcher. And that they were giving away free games every month with it. So how do you get people drawn into your company again? You overpromise. And then we're sitting here and then we get bitter and we're annoyed and then the game comes out and it's not as good as we expected. Great example for me, it was Last Guardian. I know people here loved Last Guardian. I need to give another shot. But like,
I love Last Guardian.
Ico, Shadow of the Colossus are great games. Long time in between them. Last Guardian was something that was promised for PS3, didn't come out until PS4, and like was just like, I'm sure the story's great, but I'm telling you right now, someone playing it and feeling the controls, they were absolutely garbage. Those controls they have been not working on that game over a decade for the controls to feel like that. That should be the most perfect game I've ever played.
That actually, I find that like sometimes games that are in that long development cycle have that weird like
Duke Nukem,
like elements of antiquity thing where like you play them. Yeah, did you just say Duke Nukem?
Mm-hmm.
That was literally what I was about to say. Holy shit! Yeah, no.
Think alike.
No, Duke Nukem is a game where you can literally play the history of game development in the fucking game. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, this thing that was big back in whatever 2005 or like, oh, that was such a disaster. So
it's just one of those things that's like, I don't like E3. I don't like seeing like game like cinematics are beautiful. Let me tell you something. That D4 trailer, I didn't know I had a penis, but I got a boner when I watched that trailer.
We all know you have a penis.
Yeah, I got a boner the moment I saw the cross and going through the town. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Help me! I need to be fanned." I was like so excited. But you know why they showed that D4 trailer? It's cleanup. It's cleanup. They know they did
Oh,
bad.
it definitely is.
With Immortals. You know what they did? Okay, let me play a little event for you in your mind. Immortals is shown. Complete disaster. Even though everybody has phones. You know, but like complete disaster. They then axe everybody. They trim the fat. They get rid of everybody at the company that they can afford to get rid of. Pull everybody up that's extra on their projects and put them on a secret project. You know? So then you're like, well, obviously they're trying to cut corners so they can afford pumping out a new game. That's exactly what that was. It had to be Diablo in order to save what they did. Then they have I hate to like say this, but the Free Hong Kong movement, and they're like, we need to have something now. Like, not just a cinematic, we need a playable demo, we need to have some gameplay. And you know why they had playable demo and gameplay? Because of the Free Hong Kong thing. They needed people to be like, they're going to be ready with a new game. That game is not ready for another 6 years. I'm calling it right now. Okay, 11/6/2019. 2035 or 2025, okay?
2035. Oh my god.
I'll be fucking 45 years old, okay? Like, no, that game is not going to be ready for another 6 years. They literally just took, like, D3 and, like, reskinned it and, like, it's really early development. No, it's just D3. I'm literally playing a demo of D3
Yeah, very
right
early
now.
development. It's the whole game before.
They haven't worked on anything. They literally pulled everybody so they could have that cinematic, and then they made sure they're like, the cinematic's not going to be enough. We need to have something ready so that they can forgive us.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's the same with Elder Scrolls 6. If you've seen that, the 2 second.
Oh yeah, just the title card. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It
Like,
was
hey,
just the title card.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it reminded me of something. There was going to be a first-person Metro game coming out. 4 years ago, we saw a trailer for a new Metroid Prime game that was supposed to be first person. And guess what? It's dead in the water. Don't launch a title or announce a title until you are ready. Because there is nothing more disappointing than that. Another great example, StarCraft Ghost for the GameCube. Like, for N64. Like,
Final Fantasy VII Remake, too, because that got
oh yeah, she's like this way. For me, she's
but that got greenlit, and then what they basically did was they like went in and saw like what was going on, and they were pretty much like, you know what? No, we're scrapping everything, and then they had to start over, and that's why it's taken so long for it to come out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They like fired everybody on that team, and they fixed it.
Crackdown 3, Crepe. Yes,
Right.
that's a great example. Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3 was something people were looking forward to years too. Like, you know, that game has a real niche following, like Crackdown 2.
Yeah.
People fucking hated Crackdown 3. It looked bad.
It's really like I said, I have now as I'm older, like I used to live for cinematics and waiting, but like now it's like, please don't just tease me and then not have anything ready. It's just, it's not fair as a consumer to feel like something's coming. Okay. The one, Last of Us 2. I will allow them to show off a trailer because I know Naughty Dog will finish it. It's not
Some
like one of
companies
those.
can be trusted. That's true.
Yeah, and like I know they'll finish it because it is one of the best games of all time. Whether whatever Trevor says or not, it's one of the best games of all time, and I'll know they'll finish it. But a new game like Beyond Good and Evil 2, what other than making Assassin's Creed every year, what has Ubisoft promised us where we can trust that this game is going to be out within the next 2 years? It's already been 3 years. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I don't like that.
Some
because
random
it
Tom
feels-
Clancy game. Will
Yeah.
come out every
Tom Clancy or Just Dance.
Yeah,
Hey, let's not forget about Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Watch Dogs.
the modern
Do
day
those
Assassin's
titles
Creed.
really make them like that much money? But like the truth is, it's risky to put out games that they know aren't going to make money. Why do you think FIFA, Madden, all of them can release every year? Because people buy them. Like, putting out new titles, like, even though Beyond Good and Evil 1 is supposed to be this incredible game that, like, that everybody loves, like, it's risky to put a game out a decade after it's already, like, the first one came out. It's risky because it's a new set of gamers. They're going to have to rely on people that have played the first one, which we don't know. Like, there's a whole marketing aspect to this that, like, goes into making money for a company.
And apparently, this is supposed to be a prequel also, which is going to be kind of odd for
well,
like,
they
the
do that so that new gamers can play it, you know?
And then they can play the next one.
I agree.
Or the first one, I mean.
I like what Crepe said. I only trust CD Projekt for showing a trailer and knowing the game will have a good story. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. Like, there are great companies that you can trust. I didn't want to interrupt you, Trev, but there are companies that you can trust that aren't trying to just, like, get money out of you, and the game's already in development.
Far away, Trev.
I was just going to bring up that, a game me and Rory both waited on for a long time was Devil May Cry 5. Because 4 was a launch title for PS3.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the next game ready until, super far into PS4. And that was like 10 years? I think that was around 10 years, wasn't it?
From launch of PS3 to...
Roundabout. I don't know if it was a launch. I think the demo was a launch item, and then the game came out like a couple months later. Am I wrong about that?
I thought DMC4 was a launch title.
It might have been.
I know it was very early.
I don't think
it was very early.
I think it's within the couple months. I think, because I remember I worked at GameStop at the time. And it came out after Metal Gear did. So that's after, like, the 60 gig PS3 came out. So something like, I don't know, within the first 6 months.
Yeah, roundabout. It was early. Yeah.
So that was,
and that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that would have been like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So that game title carries weight too.
Yeah.
Like, there's some titles that just carry weight a decade later, and Devil May Cry is one of them because they've had multiple.
And they didn't do that thing where they, like, showed no gameplay. They showed a trailer and, like, some other bullshit. They were like, they were ready with it. They were like, okay, here's gameplay 100%. And a trailer, and that's it.
And there was a demo for DMC5 where you play Mission 2 as Nero, and it was awesome. And let me just say, Tony, there was a DMC game in between 4 and 5. That's a real quick way around here to get shot.
Yes.
We
don't talk about that one.
Now,
I love that game.
Hold on. In not the spirit of what Trev said, where he said we don't talk about that one. Can I actually talk to Ash about that one?
Yes.
So I actually think it may not be a proper Devil May Cry game, but it's just a hack and slash game. I actually think it's good. Are you also in agreement, or are you just trying to bother Trev?
No, okay. True story. I love DMC. Like,
yeah,
I absolutely love it. I think the soundtrack is incredible. I think that they tried to reinvent a character. Like I said, it's a big part of the time. Like, they had just reinvented Lara Croft at the time, and it was really going well for them. Like, Square Enix had like full rights of Tomb Raider.
That was a great reinvent.
Yes.
Exactly. And I think that for Capcom, they're like, we should probably get on the same thing if that's what we're doing. Like, you have to think of, like, where gaming is at the time when they reinvented it. I liked that, Dante. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun. I actually, like, I'm glad you mentioned, like, hack and slash, because I told Morgan about this. Like, I love the Bleach Soul Resurrection game, which plays like Dynasty Warriors, by the way. And that was one of my favorite games. And I played DMC right after that, and it felt very fluid to switch to that title. And I think that's why I liked it so much. And again, it was my first DMC game that I had played. Like, I'd watched my brothers play through the first 3, but I had never played one myself. And that was the first one I played, and I was like, I really like this game. It's really fun. It's easy to play, and I didn't feel like I was struggling on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, see, you, did you play DMC 5, by the way? Like,
I did. I played and I beat it, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot harder than DMC.
Yes, it
was a lot harder. So they do.
The boss
feel
battle
like
at the end is way harder than anything in DMs.
It felt like a different game. Honestly, it felt like way different. But I still liked it, and I still like DMC. I don't care what
those are all. I love that whole
like
series.
Crash games sometimes.
I love that whole series except 2. I will say, like, 2 is just flat out.
Trevor told me that if I ever played through all of them, I'd just skip 2.
Like
I
2
don't
is like
remember 2.
comically bad. You can actually watch YouTube videos of just how bad it is. I've only seen the latest DMC game and it looked really cool. It's a genre that I think is like really there's not enough games in that genre for my taste. Like obviously there's the DMC games, there's the Bayonetta games, of which I still need to get the second one because it's out on Switch. There's like, I guess if you go back far enough, there's like God Hand and stuff like that. But it's a really underpopulated genre, and I wish that there was more stuff in it because I think it's more.
Coming to a roundabout about
Mm.
Sorry, I
that
went off on a total
defined-
tangent. I can't.
that
Look at
defined
us.
This is what this whole thing is,
like
Ash. Don't worry about it.
categories
Yeah.
and genres. DMC
Yes.
is one of those games. Because like
Yeah.
100%.
before DMC, how many like hack and slash games did you know that were like extremely good and worked?
That's the first real proper hack and slash game. I really do believe that.
Well, I
Like,
mean, you can
in
you can
its
have games
sort.
like God of War and Dynasty Warriors fall into that same category, but I
Mm.
think that Devil May Cry has a special.
Mm.
It's like hack and slash, but it's not like a full hack and slash. It's like
The
imagine
canonical
hack and slash
term is
plus-
character action.
Yeah, plus Dark Souls. Like it's so hard. It really is such a hard game.
Hmm.
And then I did want to just mention one thing why they could wait 10 years between like titles. And that's because Capcom is really good about other companies using their characters. A great example, Marvel vs. Capcom. So if you were into fighting games, you could play other characters and be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't play that game series, but I really like
Nice
playing
shot,
this
Trev.
character." You know? And it's just it's different. So I think that Capcom does a really good job with sharing their characters in order to get people re-interested in their titles.
Yeah, I agree 100% actually. Now, mind you, that they sort of the latest Marvel versus Capcom was really bad.
It's
But that's,
trash.
that's not
I'm
their
talking
fault,
about
though.
MVC 1 and MVC
Yeah, no,
2,
MVC one
okay?
and MVC two are like classics.
Yeah.
Why is it that so like Morgan has this thing? This was like back like a while ago. Morgan, do you remember when it was that we were talking about the new Marvel game that's coming out and Black Widow?
Oh,
do
Ted
you remember
Cruz?
what month this was? Yeah. So
It was in June.
Ash, I put it out that in that new, I guess it's the Square Enix Marvel game, Black Widow looks like Ted Cruz, and now Morgan
Oh,
can't.
I forgot about that.
Now Morgan
Tell
can't
me.
unsee it. Yeah. Okay, hold on a minute.
You can't unsee
Um,
it.
And then
Uh,
quick thing right, when he's pulling up the Ted Cruz picture. Another game that well, because what Santa Monica Studios did the very last God of War and then the one before that, or because I know didn't they switch developers at one point?
Forgot. I
So-
only played the most recent.
Here you go. This is a
God of War.
screenshot of Black Widow in the new Marvel game.
Curse everybody with this.
But
image.
yeah, God of War is also one of those games that came out
Y'all
like
talking
hella
shit, but
old.
if she came up to you at a bar and bought you a drink, you'd talk to her.
Hell no, I wouldn't. I got a girlfriend.
Okay, Morgan would talk to her for you, okay? You know what? So, shut the hell up. She don't look that bad, but she doesn't look like, I mean, if they were looking for ScarJo, because I can see behind her that
Yeah.
what's-his-face looks like Mark Ruffalo. So, I mean, it's like you know what they probably had the problem with? I bet you they couldn't get the okay on making her look like Scarlett Johansson.
Well, that's the thing. They look too much like Marvel characters, but not enough somehow. It's like they were this weird like middle ground where it's like we're gonna kind of look like the MCU.
Y'all
but-
bitching about her, but have you looked at Thor? He literally looks like a freaking Elder Scrolls Oblivion character. Like he don't look
No,
good,
okay, yeah.
So
Photo.
in
Okay,
that
let's
one
not
actually,
talk about that.
they recently did some reworks on them also.
Okay.
So
They're
Thor,
so
I
dumb.
think actually looks better now. I think so does Iron Man, if I
They
remember
pulled a
right.
Sonic the Hedgehog on him.
Yeah.
They
The
got-
thing with me, the thing with me is that I think they look too MCU, and I was hoping that with the
Definitely.
video game that's not connected to the MCU,
Yeah, they
like
shouldn't
Hollywood
have tried to
MCU.
familiarize the characters.
I was hoping-
They should have taken it in a different direction.
Can I make a mistake and say something about the Sonic movie? So
You like his teeth.
no.
Or
I think
his
Sonic-
his blue legs.
no, don't get me wrong. Sonic looked fucking atrocious in the original, but the thing is like that movie. If that movie's bad, it's not going to be because Sonic looks bad. Like that's not going to fix shit. Like
It's gonna be
if
Cyclops' fault.
the movie's bad, the
Aw,
writing
Cyclops.
is going to be awful. Like the
That
there's
movie's
like
gonna make Assassin's Creed look good. Like,
the,
Can I talk about Assassin's Creed the movie really quick?
I've also seen it,
Please,
so fire away.
please,
Wait, who
please.
here
I've
has
never seen it.
seen
I have seen it.
I
but
have
Okay.
also
seen
everybody
it.
but
I
Morgan.
have seen it.
Everybody but Morgan's seen it. All right.
To get everyone on the same page, I have a terrible fear of flying. Like I actually, it's so bad that I shake and shiver and have extreme anxiety for weeks at a time, even thinking about a flight. Right.
Mm.
So I have an actual like fear of flying. On the plane, they had Assassin's Creed to watch, and I was like, "Oh, this is a great excuse to watch it." I have never fallen asleep on a flight in my life. I fell asleep 2 minutes after the first scene, and I was like, another put in perspective. I took a red eye and then took a sleeping pill on a flight once. Couldn't sleep because my anxiety was so high. Watched Assassin's Creed, knocked out for 5 hours. It was the most boring, terrible movie I have ever seen in my life. Like,
Okay.
I fell asleep in it as well. I missed the
Okay,
last half hour. So
Fassbender, no matter how good of an actor he is, he couldn't
He's
save
amazing.
that movie.
he couldn't save. He couldn't
he
save.
can't
Okay.
play off a little boy skateboarding who's like an assassin at the beginning. Like, they put this thing where it's like, if you're a skateboarder of today, you could be an assassin. It was so dumb. It was so rough, man.
Okay, it's not a very good movie. All right, it's not above a 50% in my opinion. But
It's not above a
definitely
25,
not
you
the worst.
liar.
Stop
I used
speaking
to-
that blasphemy, Ray.
I used to review movies. Let me tell you, I've seen some shit. Okay, all right, the Bewitched movie
What?
that came out in like 2005, The Family Stone. That was. This doesn't even come close to that. Okay, but it's definitely Rocky, and unfortunately,
I would love to
oh,
hear
no, far
Rory's.
away.
I would love to hear Rory's Family Stone review sometime.
I don't even know what that movie is, to be honest.
It's just a bad Sarah Jessica Parker romantic tragedy movie. Like literally, it's not funny. Like it's just
Next.
One time, someone told me I look like Sarah Jessica Parker, and I cried all the next day.
what?
Was this on stream?
No, it was at work. Someone's like, "You look like Sarah Jessica Parker," and I was like, I asked everybody for like a week. I was like, "Do you think I look like Sarah Jessica Parker?" And they're like, "No," and I still would cry because I felt like they were lying to me.
I would say
my
Frank,
God.
Ray. I would say Frank is Michael Fassbender's strongest performance. It's a Lenny Abramson film. If I was to point you to one movie, it would be that one. I don't know if
Say
it'll be your
Magneto,
thing.
just because that's the only thing I've seen him in. Well, that and Assassin's Creed, but
Have you never seen
The-
Inglourious Bastards?
I've seen like 10 minutes of that movie because I fell asleep.
I hate Prometheus, but Michael Fassbender is a good actor.
I was just gonna bring this up to draw some tension between
I
Rory
hate-
and
don't it-
Ash, because
Let's go on.
You like Prometheus?
I do.
She's leaving. We've never had a guest just leave.
I've never had a guest
What are we
give me the
gonna
finger. I've never had any of this happen. What do you?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one opportunity to explain yourself, and I'm gonna tell you why you're fucking wrong.
Okay, look. All right.
It should not be a part of the alien universe. Ridley
No,
Scott
of course
just
it
washed
shouldn't
up
be a
and
part of
said
the
James
alien
Cameron
universe.
better.
It is. It should not be a part of the alien universe. It doesn't fit at all with any of the other movies. Right. It's a fine. It's a fine. On its own, it's a fine movie. I really do think it is.
What do you think of the starfish at the end of Prometheus 1? Tell me that was a good part. Tell me that starfish was a good part.
Okay, look. All right, it's not Citizen Kane. All right, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that for what it is, for like sci-fi movies like that, it's not that bad. It really isn't. There's way worse out there. It's perfectly fine. She's going to get madder.
No, I just if you could save one movie from the Alien franchise, would it be Alien 3 or Prometheus?
Wait, what do you mean save it from the Alien franchise? If I was to
So
take
like
it
wipe
out,
it. Yeah.
it would be Prometheus because it's the least related.
Okay, I can accept your friendship. What about Alien Resurrection versus Prometheus?
I also have you seen the new one? I haven't seen the new one.
I have.
Covenant.
I
Covenant.
liked Covenant more than Prometheus.
Well, I have no trouble believing that. You hate Prometheus.
Didn't
with a
they
passion.
also
I've
make
not
a
seen most other people
Prometheus
express
too,
them.
though?
Like,
Well, that's Covenant. Covenant, okay. Covenant is like a worse Force Awakens. Like, you know how Force Awakens is a rinse and repeat Star Wars? That's what freaking Covenant is. It's pretty much like, we're going to try and make Aliens, because my name's Ridley Scott, and I'm pissed that James Cameron made a more memorable movie than me, so I'm going to make sure to stick it to him.
To be fair, Ridley Scott doesn't know what he's doing.
Not anymore. Ridley Scott does not know what he's doing anymore because he's just jealous that someone made a better movie than him, and that's okay. Like I said, Alien is revolutionary for the sci-fi genre.
Definitely.
Revolutionary. In multiple reasons. You know the part where you first see the alien burst out of what's-his-face's chest on the table? Everyone's reaction is their real reaction.
Yeah.
That scene, for those that don't know, they filmed that shot once because nobody knew what was going to happen. They're eating Chinese food and all of a sudden, like, pops out the reaction of, like, fear. It is all right there and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Aliens is a much better movie. Interesting. You love the side characters. They actually add to the story. Like, I just told Sugar she needs to watch the director's cut of Aliens because it's even better. Like, you get such a deep, like, overview of every single aspect of that world, you know? Like, LB-426 actually means something instead of, like, a random planet. Like, there's so much more to it. And then Alien 3 comes out, written by Ridley Scott, but he doesn't want to direct it, and it pretty much is just boring. Like, Alien 3 is boring.
Yeah, Alien 3 is not good.
No, it's not.
To be honest, like,
it's not, and Sigourney Weaver cannot save that film. I think that it was a huge mistake if they were going to make a sequel to Alien to kill off Newt, to kill off Hicks, characters we actually were interested in, and then randomly bringing back Bishop. It was just stupid. It was stupid. And then Alien Resurrection suffered from the same syndrome that Terminator does, where it was like, we just want to use this name and make some quick cash really quick. That's what Fox was thinking. And then we have Prometheus, which to me, when I watched Prometheus, I was so excited, which is probably why that was like the biggest reason why I didn't like it. I sat down and I was like, I love Aliens. It's my favorite movie ever. I'm expecting this to just blow my mind like the way Alien did and just be amazing and add to the whole universe. But instead it was like, here's this starfish. Like, what is this? I remember, like, I saw this with my father, right? My father taps me on the shoulder and he's like, this is really boring. And I was like, this is really boring. And, like, at first I was like, maybe it's just me and I'm like, I hyped it up too much. But Prometheus is not, it's not just a slow, burn. It should be just a plain sci-fi movie, kind of similar to that, like, movie Life that Ryan Reynolds was in, or was it Jake Gyllenhaal, or they're both in. It reminded me a lot of Life. But Life had more exciting stuff happen in it than Prometheus. Was the acting phenomenal in Prometheus? Yes. But, like, the story is just not there. Like, it's more, like, discombobulated than fucking the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Like, nothing made sense. Like, you can't do that, right?
I think the breakdown for me for Prometheus is that I don't know for the Alien franchise if it actually needs all this mythology and lore, and like I don't need an explanation to know that running from a xenomorph is freaking terrifying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need, I don't know. I think the mystery of the aliens is more like intriguing than actually explaining where it comes from.
I think, like I said, for Ridley Scott, he was pissed that, like, when you think of Alien, people think of Aliens. And that's done by James Cameron. And like I said, I think for Ridley Scott, that's like a slap in the face, considering Alien changed the sci-fi genre. And his film is, like, half forgotten compared to Alien. And I think he had to come in and rewrite it.
I know I just typed it in chat, but I do want to echo what Richard says. The Blade Runner sequel, Blade Runner 2049, is one of the best movies I've seen in, like, it's one of my favorite movies of the last 5 years easily. It's like a top 10 of the last 5 years. I want to use two things Ash said, actually, that I liked. One of which is about director's cuts, by the way. I think you should watch the director's cut of everything if it's an option. Because, like, my favorite movie of all time is the director's cut of Donnie Darko. And if you watch the hey, there we go.
Yeah. Donnie Darko's so good.
It's so much better than the theatrical cut. It's actually
Absolutely.
third.
I've
In
never
fact,
seen the director's cut of Donnie
Roger
Darko.
Ebert changed his review after watching the director's cut. He gave the film a very like lukewarm review after watching it in theater, and then watched the director's cut, and he's like, "Never mind, it's a good movie now."
I think Donnie Darko, not director's cut, feels a lot more broken. Like parts you're like,
Yes.
what? Like how did we get here? Like
Yes,
that's how it
yeah,
feels. And when you watch the director's cut, it feels much more fluid.
It's a real, yeah, it's so good. Also, like, I like what you said about Sigourney Weaver. You said Sigourney Weaver like cannot like save the movie. I really think like when I like look to a movie I'm excited for, I generally don't get excited just because it has actors I like now, and I think part of that is like just the disappointment that I've experienced. Like actors don't make movies; they can break movies if they're bad, but a good
Absolutely.
actor can't save a shitty script.
Yeah.
Ever.
Like her acting is great. In Alien 3, her acting is
Yeah.
great. She really portrays like she is Ripley to me. Like I've said this on my stream so many times. Like if I met Sigourney Weaver, I would cry. Like I just think that she is absolutely incredible and so talented. And her acting in Alien 3 is great, but like that movie, she could not carry it because it just did not feel right.
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. Yeah. The so like when I like find out a movie coming out, I look at the director and the writer,
Mhm.
and then if I don't know them for whatever reason, I look at their previous work, and then I may get excited. They use that part of the IMDb page, and the cinematographer is actually more useful than you might think of it too. Yeah, some directors' cuts are trash. That's true.
Isn't that they say like theater is the actor's medium, television is a writer's medium, and film is the director's medium. So those are the people in the roles that often make or break the art.
Yeah, well, I think that's totally true. I mean, no one complains about the acting in Game of Thrones season 8. You know what I mean?
Did
that's.
you really have to bring that up right now? Like,
Ow!
I'm sorry. I know that.
I'm gonna be honest.
I felt that right now.
I thought I was gonna cry when I said I love these girls, but I'm gonna cry for the fact that I wasted 10 years.
Like
I still am hurt.
Yeah.
no one thinks that's anybody's fault other than DB Weiss and David Benioff, right?
And they're
Like,
paying
Yeah, the
for
writers.
it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
God.
Yeah,
Because their other show like fell through and they're not doing
Yeah,
it
they
anymore.
lost their
And then
multi-million
they can't do
year
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yeah.
They fired them the same month. Good, F them.
Yeah, exactly. After seeing season 8, I would be like, all right, never mind. we don't want you
But-
doing this.
Yeah, I really don't have a doubt in my mind that the reason why, because HBO said that they could have as many seasons as they wanted, as
Tony's
many
right,
as
they
they
could.
wanted, and I know for sure they wanted to do it because they wanted to get started with their Star Wars project faster, so they just wanted to finish it up. I've always said since it came out, because so many people had like an issue with Danny being a villain, and I was like, I don't have an issue with Danny being a villain. I have an
Same.
issue with how they did it. They should have built everything up, and then the next season should have been her downward going as the villain.
much
It was
longer.
like a 180
The
and like an
build wasn't
episode.
there.
But the bells, you guys, the bells.
The bells.
Bells
The thing
make
is,
you go
like-
evil.
I feel like people don't realize
It's a
something can
shame.
be foreshadowed and still rushed.
So
Like that's
I've only
totally
read the
something-
first Game of Thrones book, but like even in the first Game of Thrones book, they show off a side of her that could turn her into this like evil character. Like there's very little bits and pieces that they hint at. And they never did that the whole time because they loved Amelia Clarke. They loved the character. She was supposed to be this heroine. And like what they did is they're like, remember how she's everybody's favorite character and she's a hero? Guess what? She's evil. Like it wasn't like a season where they like Morgan said, they built her up. She started to have the bits and pieces and like everything started to fall apart. And then like it didn't need to be like, I'm not pissed she's evil. I'm pissed that it was written terrible. Oh, remember when Tyrion was the smartest character in the show? Guess again, he's a fucking idiot. Like it was just like so. They wanted to tie up loose ends. Nothing made sense. Like, oh yeah, Sansa's the queen, but she can't save Jon Snow from the wall.
There was a lot of character assassination
There's a lot
that
of,
happened
like,
in season
plot
8.
holes and like
How
nothing
does
was thought out.
Sansa and freaking, one of the worst characters in the entire series have the best ending? Like, it just makes no, like,
Okay, I also
talk about
now
this
that we're
anymore.
now that we're
Okay,
getting this
quick
off
question
podcast.
though.
Yeah,
Quick
fire
question.
away, yeah.
What did you think was worse, season 8 of Game of Thrones or the last season of Dexter?
Nothing's worse than the last season of Dexter. I don't care
You
what
shut
anyone
your mouth!
says.
I love him riding into the hurricane.
Oh my
The
god.
last season of Dexter was literally the worst thing on television. No, just flat out. But the Game of Thrones thing, in terms of like what, like in terms of foreshadowing stuff, I think one of the things that was foreshadowed a lot earlier than it gets credit for is that the show is kind of cheap in the way it like gets emotional reactions out of its audience. It's like there's a lot of just like pure shock and surprise and like no dramatic tension. Like there's this great moment in like season 6 where some like old fucker that no one gives a shit about dies. And it's like the only significant scene he had in the previous like 20 episodes was that very episode. They had this wonderful scene where he talks to Dany and says something about one of her family members, and it's really nice and wonderful. And then he dies. I'm like, you literally just gave him that scene so we'd give a shit when he died. Otherwise, everybody would be like, what's that guy's name again?
Honestly,
Well, the problem with season 8 is that they didn't even bother giving that one scene, like with freaking Missandei. They didn't.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, they offed her and then didn't give us any kind of meaningful
okay, but
reminder.
also too, let me just tell you, how the hell do they know Missandei's Danny's best friend? They've never seen Missandei. They've never seen her, and they're like, guess what? After all these hundreds of ships, we randomly found Missandei in the water, and now she's our captured. The only person captured. It makes no sense. The only death that was amazing and made me sad were her dragons. And like those were like the surprise of the freaking I can't remember the crank's name that they freaking made. Why can't I think of the name of the freaking
weapon?
arrow? Yeah, what's the name
Oh,
of
yeah.
it? It had a specific
The scorpion. It's
The
scorpion.
scorpion. When it hits her dragon and he falls, like I was like,
I think the first dragon death.
I knew that was
sadder.
gonna happen though. Well, okay. Honestly, like to play devil's advocate again, it's gone downhill. It's gone down. Like, if you rewatch the first couple seasons, it really is so well done, and then it just starts to like you can tell so much is fan service. After, I don't want to say this because like I totally get why they did it, but they added Ed Sheeran in. After that season, that was like
Ed Sheeran ruined that Game of
It's
Thrones.
no,
Ed's
well,
fault.
no,
His
not him, but it
promotional
showed
bullshit. Like, what song
it
is that?
showed
A new
you
one.
where their head was at, right? They just wanted to like, oh, an actor wanted to be in it. Let's like put him in it, you know,
He's
like.
not even an actor. He's just like a famous person.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you
Yeah.
could tell their headspace changed, and like George R. R. Martin is famously known to be like he's famously known to be lazy with his writing. Like he just doesn't do anything fast. He doesn't do it on his like a timetable. And I think that after he stopped being involved and after he stopped having pages for them to reference, it's like an anime that goes into OVA. I mean, I'm sure Morgan understands 100%. It's like like it's when an anime is like it starts to have to pull from a different writer's material, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. Like this feels like I'm gonna use Bleach or Naruto for people that are big anime fans.
Full Metal
like,
Alchemist is a good one too.
Thank you. I wasn't gonna say that. Okay, so the first season of Full Metal Alchemist, after the first 12 episodes, they didn't have any more manga to go off of, so they just started making up seasons, and that's when I actually stopped watching the original Full Metal Alchemist, and I watched Brotherhood after, and it's so much better.
So what you're saying is we need, whenever George R. R. Martin finishes Game of Thrones, we need
Which will
Game of Thrones Brotherhood.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Television series.
Because what's the next book he's supposed to have out? Winds of Winter?
Winds of Winter, and then Dream of Spring.
Which is not going to happen.
Well, everyone's scared he's gonna die before he
Well,
finishes
He's
them.
already gone on record saying it's tough for him to finish it because of the show. Like he's struggling to finish it.
Yeah,
because-
but Winds of Winter was supposed to be done
Well, and he's
before
working
the
with,
second season of Game of Thrones, and he released a chapter from it.
He's working.
that's
with,
how close he was.
FromSoft.
Or not Namco, FromSoft.
So
Well,
he's gonna be busy as well.
He just,
Oh.
yeah, we don't see that happen. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I understand because it happens in anime all the time when they catch up with the manga. And what they should have done is just gone on a 3-year hiatus. we waited 2 years for that, and that wasn't okay. If they wanted to work on Star Wars, they should have just gone and done it, and then come back and picked up the show where they left off and finished it with 2-3 more seasons, and that would have been amazing. HBO said they could have up to 5. Like,
Well, I think another part was that like the actors didn't want, because they've been doing those roles for a long time, and I know a lot of them were saying
that's not true. Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow, literally had a mental breakdown when it finished because he was so upset that it was over. So, like, I know that they're like, the actors were tired. No, it's because the writers got greedy, okay? That's why.
The actors love the job security. The actor, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
One of the things, too, that always bothered me was just, like, stuff about, like, some of the writing that it's obvious that they could have gone in a different direction. Like, it makes me so mad because, like, I always thought that, like, Jon and Daenerys would have been a very interesting couple. For a long time, I had thought that. And then, like, right as they are getting with each other, it's like, oh my god, this is actually happening now. They're like, yeah, by the way, they're blood related. Ha ha. And I absolutely hate that. Like, they just went into that again. Like, that's what one of the things that they really went into. One of the things that I always wish that they had done that I at least thought would have been an interesting story for Jon, at least. One of the big things that actually does bother me about Jon being a Targaryen is that so many of those Targaryens were like very like light-skinned blonde people, and the big thing that they always mentioned with Jon was that he was dark of skin, dark of hair. That's like how they always put it, right? And that was like a Robert Baratheon thing, and that's why they got rid of so many of those of like his bastard children, because Cersei didn't want any of them to be able to take up the throne, right? And the thing that I really wanted was for the way that Jon would have been the proper heir to the throne was because he was actually Robert Baratheon's son with Cersei, who she had before her 3 other children, who at the time, like, it would have been that she thought had died, and Ned took him to keep him safe. That's what I was hoping for.
You were wanting him to be Baratheon.
Yes.
So where, like, I agree that Cersei had a child with Robert, but she does mention that she kills the child out of spite and hatred for Robert. Like, she
was that because I couldn't remember.
And like I know because like my brother read let's see. What was the book? Dancing with Dragons?
Dance with Dragons. A Dance with Dragons.
A Dance with Dragons came out right as the first season of Game of Thrones came out, and my brother was like, yeah, he's like L plus R equals J. He used to like say that all the time, right? And I was like, what does that even mean? And he's like, this, right? To not spoil, but like it. I knew Jon's like heritage when I started the series because of my brother and him being like so excited after he read Dance with Dragons, and I think that it would have been a really interesting thing to see his Targaryen blood, considering they kept him in an ice environment the whole time, which kept the fact that he was a Targaryen a secret. You know, like we would never see, because like they hint. Like, I had asked my brother, when you watch the first episode of Game of Thrones and Dany gets in the bath and it's burning hot, like, that is your first, like, she can withstand fire, right? And, like, they purposely put Jon in this ice environment, but never give him the opportunity in the series to show off that Targaryen blood. Even, like, the dragon riding is short-lived. And then, and it's not like, oh my god, this is so crazy, I'm riding a dragon. It's like, I'm a natural. And then, like, I think I told Sugar this the first episode of season 8. They have what I like to call, like, freaking the CW moment, where freaking... I told her this.
Okay, are we going to be hating on the good name, the CW?
Okay, they had a CW moment, you know, because I love Supernatural, but they've destroyed that series, like just like they did the Arrow.
Yeah, that's
just like they fucking did the Arrow.
Yeah, okay, it's true. All
but
right.
they had a CW moment where it's like Jon and Dany are like making out, and the dragon does this awkward stare. How many thousands of dollars went into the dragon awkward stare, which I call the CW moment, where they could have been adding in features with Ghost, which actually added to the story. Like, we never have money for Ghost, bitch, you just did a 10-second dragon staring scene while Danny and John were making out. Don't lie to me. Like,
They needed those polygons to look good. You know what I mean?
I have a question for Ash. Ash, I'm of the opinion that Supernatural should have ended after the in season 5, like season 5 ends, the show ends.
Yes, I say all the time.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, yeah. I was gonna ask
say
you.
if you can make it to season 6, don't expect anything, because like I made it to season 6 and I stopped watching because I was so disappointed where they were taking the show. After season 5, it's not good.
Yeah,
but what they did is like
stopped. It's perfect after season 5, like just at the end.
It's a great series. Supernatural is absolutely phenomenal. Like I get chills every time I watch the first episode, and Dean says, "Dad's on a hunting trip." Like,
yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I told Crate this. I was like, "You need to watch Supernatural if you want to be impressed." After season 5, it's rough.
Gimology, I didn't know that it was originally planned to end after season 5, but that makes a lot of sense because it looks like it was planned to end after season 5.
They just kept going.
Supernatural.
They Walking Deaded it.
Supernatural is one of the only series that started on the WB and is making it all its way to the CW. When it started, it was on WB, and it was a completely different, Friday night. And I think is the moment that they changed doing Monster of the Week, which is by far the best, it was great because you have an underlying story, but a Monster of the Week. It's different every week, but you still have this idea that they're trying to find the yellow-eyed demon.
It's the Star Trek model of episode progression. It's really good.
Absolutely. And I love their dynamic. Freaking Jensen Ackles and why am I brain farting?
Jared Padalecki. Their chemistry is phenomenal. Yeah, and you can tell that they love each other and they've enjoyed working with each other. In fact, I go to San Diego Comic-Con almost every year, as Trevor knows. And when they used to do this thing called Nerd HQ, where
I miss Nerd HQ,
where you could buy additional passes for a meet and greet. So for $20, you could sit in a room of 100 and ask personal questions with the cast. And Supernatural was one of the ones that I did. And this was in season 8, I think. Season 8. And it was great. At the time, I was I'm kind of annoyed where Supernatural's going, but I love the characters. And you can tell all the actors love each other. Misha Collins.
Misha Collins is so good, yeah.
Oh, I love Misha Collins because he talks about how he thought that he was going to have a very small role on Supernatural. So he actually does a wonky voice from his real voice, because he thought he was only going to be in 2 episodes. But then he found out that obviously everyone liked him so much, so they kept him on. And so now he keeps this accent for years and years. And he's it's so tiring. That's why he has to
enunciate so unusually. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I love Supernatural, but I do think that CW takes TV shows and runs them into the ground. Arrow season 1, phenomenal. Season 2, and it was they do this thing. I don't want to blame Tumblr, but I feel a lot of people on Tumblr love CW shows, and they're well, why are they with Felicity? Oh, I'm not gonna watch the show unless he marries Felicity, and then they fucking ruin the show and change the whole script around to make sure these people on Tumblr still watch, and the show just goes to trash. There is Dean and Sam love making out stuff. They're brothers on Tumblr.
Okay, I have a question. I have a follow-up question now. Have you seen The 100?
I have.
Okay, I'm not caught up in the latest season, but I'm a massive fan.
I've watched the first season because it's on Netflix.
Yes.
I have a favorite character. I won't say who it is because I don't know where you're at.
Well, I'm way past the first season. I've seen the first 5 seasons over.
Okay, well, this character dies. It's a guy character who has a romance with the main character. And I loved them together.
Yes.
And I loved them together. I loved his character, and I saw that he dies.
Yes.
They wrote off his character pretty much to make way so that she could have more love interests, essentially. And it really bothered me. It really bothered me that they did this because I felt it was taken away in order to add more people that they enjoyed more for a love interest.
Okay, that's almost definitely why they did it. Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
You haven't fire away?
No.
I was just gonna say, why did you stop at the end of season 1? Just because that?
I did. I saw that spoiler, and I was like, okay, it's kind of like, can I say a major spoiler in The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, like,
hate The Walking
Yeah,
Dead,
we
by the
can.
way.
We don't. You
Okay.
can spoil it.
So I love The Walking Dead, or I did love The Walking Dead, and I used
The
to watch it
original
every
one, right?
week.
Not the.
Yes.
Okay.
Not recently. I haven't watched it in a couple years. But Beth, who is originally from season 2, dies in season 5, and that moment, she was my favorite character for many reasons, because I felt like she was one of the only characters that had true character development over the years. You saw an innocent girl turn into a survivalist, and I loved that. I absolutely loved it. As someone who, like I said, I love powerful women, especially like showing women evolve into better versions of themselves. I really love that, and that's why I enjoyed her character so much. And when they killed her off, like I said, as someone that does marketing, the only reason they killed her off was for shock value and for view.
Right.
They didn't kill her off because it was going to make the story stronger. They killed her off because it was this mid-season finale and they needed to kill a character off. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to support this show anymore if they're just going to kill characters off just to kill them off. Like, I don't need a death every mid-season or season finale in order to feel some kind of way. Like, do I think it's necessary in a more, like, realistic zombie world? Of course. But, like, that made absolutely zero sense. That death was filmed terribly. The writing was terrible. And I said, I'm not going to support this show anymore if that's, like, the way they're going to write stuff. And literally after her death, the show went downhill. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I stopped watching. Everyone's like, it's so bad now. It's so bad now. And I was like, well, yeah, of course. Like, they lost the passion they had, and they literally were doing things only for shock value. And
Morgan,
so,
you had?
I was actually gonna say I don't know if like how because like when it comes to the DC CW shows, it's not like I know too much about the comics. I got so mad at the I think it was the end of season 2 of The Flash, because what they basically did was they rewound things. And if I remember right, I think Barry Allen like went into the past to fix something. And because he did that, he completely messed things up when he tried to fix it. And I was like, they basically just took the last 2 seasons and they kind of put them down the drain, because everything was completely. It was almost like there were no other seasons.
It's a reset.
Yeah, it was almost like the last 2 seasons didn't matter.
Can I make a comment on not knowing the comics, but what happens? So when Barry Allen tries to mess with time, he actually completely screws up the universe. And there's an alternate universe that he goes into where Aquaman and Wonder Woman are together, and Wonder Woman's actually bad, and she like kills everybody.
Well, yeah,
it's
that's
really
from the
fast.
Flashpoint Paradox.
Flashpoint Paradox, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
Trevor
Zuri was
told me
saying.
about that.
That's a direct thing from the
Well,
comics.
Aquaman and Wonder Woman have an affair. It's really interesting. Trevor told me.
And it starts this war.
Yeah,
There's
it
a whole
started
movie on it.
Atlanteans,
That's a lot of people's pinnacle for like the greatest DC animated show.
That's
movie.
That's a great movie.
I didn't like it. I'll be honest.
I liked it. I own it actually on Blu-ray. But
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to go like too far off.
No, it's all good. There's
No.
no on topic anymore. We lost
Okay,
that,
I'm
like,
sorry.
Put
I
it this
know when
way,
we
like
start
one
talking about BlizzCon.
one cast we went and talked about Wendy's for like 30 minutes. So there's
I should
absolutely
yeah,
no.
literally. Wendy's doesn't cut corners. That's the takeaway. I wanted to ask Ash about Overwatch 2.
oh wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Overwatch 2, phenomenal. I was definitely a skeptic. Like, you know how like someone goes into a freaking like talking with someone that talks to ghosts, and they're like, this isn't real. Like, that's how I felt going into Overwatch 2, and I was a believer after. Like, I went in, I was so skeptical. I was like, how could they really do like a 2? You know, like it's one of those games like when Rainbow Six Siege comes out with a second one, I'm gonna be very you know? And that's how I felt about Overwatch 2. I played 2 games of Push, which is like tug of war with a robot. For those that don't know, pretty much what happens is the first couple minutes, it's very slow. So the robot's like pushing a brick, essentially, or like a cinder block, whatever you want to say.
It looked like
And-
Payload,
Wait.
except you could do it both ways.
So are you controlling the robot?
So if you stay
Break this down for us.
So if you stay on the robot, it pushes the direction it needs. right? If
Okay.
it's contested, it's not moving. But the longer it's in play, the faster it moves. So let's say you're the first team to push it. It's slow. Excuse me, I had carbonated beverages, so I'm burping. But like, it's slow as hell when you first start to push it. And the longer it's in play, the faster it gives. So like, let's say we're like almost to the end, but then we get a team wipe, and the other team jumps on it. It moves super fast.
Mm.
They can get it almost to the other end by the time you all get back, because it's dropped the extra weight and it's moving faster. It's to try and encourage games to be done quicker, essentially. Because when you're like in overtime of overtime in Overwatch, fuck, this is the longest game. This has been 35 fucking minutes. Like, I'm so over this. Like, this is too long.
Is that still a 6v6 setup?
It's still 6v6.
Yeah,
They added duos in, so you can do duo combat. What's really cool about that is you actually get to upgrade your character. Like, let's say you like to play Mercy a lot, like myself. If you play her in a lot of the missions, you actually can level her up separately in the story missions.
Okay,
So
I needed to ask about this. So it's not like Paladins where there'll be like skills for multiplayer and you'll like modify
No,
your.
this is completely separate. This is the only single player or like squad stuff. Competitive will still stay the same. Push is fun. It's really fun, and the new looks of characters is amazing. It feels cleaner. It looks cleaner. Like I said, as a healer for myself. Oh, you're a Mercy main too, Rory.
Yeah.
Like, so you have like in the center of the screen. I don't know if you can see how it's like right here on me. They'll have the circle with the character's image, and it will be a circle for how much they're healed, and it will show like how it's done, and it looks so clean. It moves really clean. The characters, they changed their look for a lot of them. It just looks beautiful.
And the skins carry over. This is something that is true.
All skins carry over. They confirmed it. So anything you do in Overwatch will carry over. My one concern is if it's a full price game. I don't think push and single player content
PvE
is enough to be.
If
It's
anything,
not worth
I feel like it should be
so
like 30.
That was one of the discussions
Absolutely.
we had. So we actually had like a BlizzCon watch party where we watched the opening ceremony and watched all the trailers, the cinematics, and everything. And that was one of the discussions that came out after that. Was
we were more confused than like excited for two.
Like what's the difference between this being like an expansion or like just a lot of DLC versus a completely
I think their
new
biggest
game?
sale is going to be UI upgrade and transition to something different. They are going to have new characters, new maps, everything. So for me, if this doesn't come out within a year, I probably will lose a lot of interest in Overwatch, because imagine, they showed off the new character. Forgot her name, but she's from
Echo?
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Sojourn.
Echo.
No,
Sojourn.
So I'm so sorry. I left with you being, oh my god, it's so good, and then I came back to you being, if this doesn't come out within a year, I'm gonna lose interest in Overwatch.
Yeah,
some whiplash.
I'm getting to that point. So imagine they did not show off a new map and a new character for Overwatch, but they haven't released even an idea of when the date for this is going to come out. They're not going to update Overwatch right now. There's going to be no new maps, no new characters.
Oh, so
They
you mean
said
for
that,
Overwatch?
Toronto was gonna come out.
Okay, so you meant for
Canada.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I could have sworn they had done something about like Toronto for Overwatch 2.
No, so they're not
Okay.
going to have any new game, like any new things added to Overwatch as is, because they're working on Overwatch 2, right?
Wait, Toronto's going to be in Overwatch 2? Not Overwatch
Yeah.
1?
It's
Well,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
what they were saying,
Rory.
what it sounded like was that you could play on Overwatch 2 with people on Overwatch 1. And that
I
all
don't
the
think
maps
that's
and
true.
heroes were gonna... Yeah, because he said you could play all the new heroes and maps on Overwatch originally, and then
Then
with
what's the
people
point of
on 2.
Overwatch 2, though? I'm confused as fuck. The story.
I
Because-
think it's just for the PvE stuff.
For the PvE and then the updated competitive play. Now, like I said, if it doesn't come out within a year, it's going to be a problem for Overwatch 1, because we're not going to see a new map or a new character anytime soon. And I think that's going to be really rough for us that get tired of the same content. That's why there's seasons for so many games that don't get updates.
They just updated it today, and they said that there's going to be now like map rotation along with...
Yeah, but is map rotation really going to be like?
I think the seasons are gonna be shorter now.
He did mention that what's it called? Overwatch League is going to be playing push instead of the current Overwatch competitive play, which will be really interesting. I think that will change the game, and we'll see a lot of new faces, a lot of more interesting plays. Because the tug of war push, I don't think I could play push 24/7 though. Like it would have to be added into cart and objective and like other things because push is great. It was fun, but I wouldn't. It's just like I wouldn't want to play the cart the whole time either. You know, like I wouldn't want to do that for 6 hours. Like I just hope they add it in as part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. I enjoyed it. If it's coming out at a $40 price point, I think it's worth it. If it's $60, I don't know if I'll be a first person to jump on it.
I think at least like usually for me, I think $30 is a great price for that. Just because at that point it does sound like because Overwatch 2 does sound like more like a polished expansion pack to me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, $30 sounds like that'd be a good price point. I could live with 40 because there are other expansion packs. I mean, I was
buy
just
it for 40. I would.
Yeah.
But not $59.99.
Yeah, I'm not paying the full price for like just PvE stuff.
Yeah, even though I know I'm gonna get a lot of hours too, whenever it comes out, whenever that is. Like the thing is, I'm already like looking at the future months and thinking like it's too jam packed with games for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this November has Star Wars, Pokemon, and Death Stranding. Like. And like they just don't pay me enough money to buy all those. Like like I'm already like having to reschedule games. I'm like, okay, Pokemon will be in December, and like I don't have the time or the money for that.
Pokemon, like I feel like you don't need to buy Pokemon on day one. Pokemon is a game that you can play anytime at any moment. You don't need to jump back into it. Pokemon is a game that will do well, but not
follows the
like,
formula every single release. So it's not like
you're not going to see people running. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people buy Pokemon on day one, but not like how Death Stranding will be picked up and die down. And
yeah, that's true. And the spoilers will be all over every forum visit.
Pokemon is going to be purchased a lot on day one. It's going to be purchased a lot for holiday, and then you'll see people buy it, intermediately between the next year, unless we have.
Yeah.
I'm sure what my guess would be is next E3 we're going to see some information for Let's Go 2 because Let's Go did so well that they want to keep that ball rolling in order to keep people interested in Pokemon. Pokemon's something that's never going to like really die down despite having like higher sales during its launch and through the holiday season. I think the other games, like if you wait on them, you're going to get spoiled on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that happened with me with MGS5 actually.
Yeah.
Like a week after release, I'm like, I didn't have time to play this. It's like a 150-hour game if you do all this.
Yeah,
it's having
honestly, and it's not
streams.
And it's not even like after release. There are things before releases too. Like I've been having to dodge so much stuff right now with the with Pokemon leaks.
Well, right before
it's a little crazy.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I remember like 4 days before, I saw all these videos going up, and I watched them all just because I was gonna play it on release. And then I control spoilers for
that's
for chat.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well, that's what you said for Death Stranding, right, Trev? You were like, I'm gonna learn every spoiler so that when I'm modding for you, I can just like shoot people when they come in with spoilers.
Yeah.
See, like, so that's something that I've been having to dodge a whole lot now. Like, the only things that I will watch are official trailers, and even then, I don't even go looking for them. But like during a Nintendo Direct. Like, I'll watch those, but when they're leaks, when they're not meant to be seen yet by, like, Nintendo or whoever else does, like, like Kingdom Hearts, for example. Like, I was off social media for 5 days because I didn't want to see anything. And now, like, I think I saw one like, evolution, I want to say. I think it was for Score Bunny.
They did just... well, there's 2 final forms. I think Ray brought it up. He said there's 2 starters that got released.
Yeah. There's a couple, but they got leaked is the thing. And so for me, like, I think I saw a little bit of Score Bunny before I like scrolled up, and I was like, should I just look at it? And I was like,
who would ever spoil an Overwatch 2 cinematic? I mean, who would do that? Trevor.
Jake's not Wesker's son.
Oh my god.
Look, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Alright, I just said supposedly this is supposed to happen, and then it happened. I was like, oh, I guess the guy was like legit.
Well, and so like for me with like for Pokemon, I just have been making sure just to stay away from stuff because I don't want to know. That's just me. You know, I just don't want to know.
I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me or not, though. I feel like companies are spoiling their games or even movies way more than they used to. Like
I get so pissed when I see an entire movie trailer. The entire plot of a movie is in the trailer.
Like I feel like even when it's like you were saying, like Nintendo Direct, and I think Nintendo's pretty good about keeping stuff low key, but like Death Stranding, like Kojima Productions, if you watch any of their trailers right now, I feel like it spoils half the game. Like I just watched a trailer where I was like, what? Like that tells me what's going on. Like
I haven't watched trailers for Death Stranding in a few
months.
That's
smart.
Also why. That's also why I don't watch trailers.
Especially
movie trailers. Streamers I truly enjoy access to big games like the Outer Worlds. Yeah, I can believe that.
Like
also, this is the first time I've ever seen your name,
big
thing.
I
don't know
think
how you
Carrie's
stumbled
from,
across us.
Ashes,
from Ashes?
I've seen
Carrie,
them.
Carrie's from me.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same way though with like movie trailers. I feel like especially they just show so much happening. I'm like, I already know.
Movie trailers are the worst. Oh my god, yeah, they really. There was I remember the Star Trek Into Darkness trailer. They like accidentally gave something away that they didn't realize they gave away. I'm like, how did you manage this? Did anyone watch it back to make sure that they didn't do this? Yeah, quite a few movies you can get just the entire story from the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think that's like the one thing they screwed up with, or Capcom did with Devil May Cry 5, was that I don't think they should have did that last trailer and shown Virgil at the end. Because like nobody knew he was
everything. Like,
and once I saw that, I was like, okay, he's the villain now. Like that.
But
there's some things that I wish they like, especially actually in video games, like when they'll show things like on the box art or in the trailers, like it might make people go like, ooh, that's so cool, I can't wait to play this. But at the same time, do you know how, like, I just think, do you know how cool this specific thing would have been if we didn't know about it? Like, I always have said that Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, would have been so cool to see like Link turn into the wolf if they hadn't already shown that like on the box art and in the trailer. Like, it would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I think Melly and Ash are texting during class.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sending my notes to her because honestly, you guys are making such great points. It's like it's interesting to like discuss this kind of stuff because it's nice to see that a lot of gamers of today feel the same way about certain things.
Yeah.
I think
I didn't mean to call you guys out, but I just saw. I was like,
well, they were unusually
right next
quiet.
to each other, and like
so then I,
down. Melly was looking down, and this is how people catch me and Morgan sometimes, right? When we're texting during class.
We're dating. Hey, everybody! I have an announcement.
I never do that.
Melly and I are dating.
The truth is out.
We're having an affair. Don't tell my boyfriend.
I think that's up to the discretion of the developers who make the trailers, though. Because like for like Pokemon, for example, a lot of people know the story of Pokemon. Like, all you need to do is play one, and you'll get the general gist of like a Pokemon game. So like if they introduce new stuff like Mega Evolutions, it could be added as shock value, or you can like show it to people to try to get them into your game again. Because like every single gen of Pokemon up until like the first one where you had to Mega Evolve, it was just like, it's like what am I playing this for? Like, just new Pokemon?
I don't want to say anything, but like honestly, they're so cute. I can't even handle it. Like I just can't even look at them. Honestly, you guys are like.
It's been pretty toned down.
Can I change the subject? You guys are so fucking wholesome. It's so cute. I can't handle it. Like I literally live off of what Morgan tells me. You're so cute. If I could like platonically kiss both of you on the mouth together at the same time, I would. Like it's. I just love your love.
Do you know Tiff said that exact sentence?
Aww. Yeah, she did. Oh my god. I love your love.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome, but don't out sugar and I ever again.
Oh.
Oh no,
think I
Tim
hear-
is here. Remember, Rory, don't read anything out loud. That he
Yep.
puts in
I'm
chat.
never reading anything Tim says out loud. Tim is a fucking menace and deserves to be treated as such.
You're a menace?
A
A phantom menace?
So
you must-
Tim
Oh
is
my
a
God.
Ash. Tim is a like an IRL person from back on the island that I went to.
Oh wow,
From back from the island.
Newfoundland, a Newfoundlander.
It is
Good.
Newfoundland.
Good work, a Newfoundlander.
A Newfoundlander.
A Newfie.
He's a Canadian.
There we go.
Yeah, you guys are so cute. Almost as cute as Trevor. You know what I'm excited for you guys? To meet Trevor in person.
I'm
Oh
also
my
really
gosh,
excited
I'm
to
so
meet Trev. I
excited.
get to meet Trev in 2 days, less than 2 days. Me and Trev will be having lunch.
You know
Is
what
that
I'm
gonna be?
about
Is
to
that
do?
gonna be on the IRL stream? Is that gonna be just meeting Trevor for the first time?
So no, like I'm gonna meet Trev before TIFF, probably. Just due to the time that I arrive in Toronto, I'm arriving, meeting Morgan. Me and Morgan are going to the hotel, and then.
Oh,
Trev
you
is
might
there.
explain
you
in chat
were
what
gonna
what
be
what
there
is the
earlier.
Oh,
how
what
are
the hell
you
is
guys
even
meeting?
going on? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no one knows what I'm on about here. So like there's like this event, right? It's called Teleracon, and it's our friend Tiff or
baby.
Telera. Oh, Lillian.
It's a baby.
On Twitch, and
She wants to lick my plate.
so
Oh
she's
my
also an IRL
God.
person. That's actually why for those who don't know, that's the reason I started using Twitch in the first place. Was because
Yay!
the
Sorry.
oh my god,
Look at that. I'm just so happy because you met Morgan that way.
that's true. I'm also happy about that.
And they're still
Um,
not ranked number 1 in each other's chat.
Oh, the Trev is ranked number 1 in both our chats. Ash, that's the context there.
That's because Trev is a master lurker.
So Tiff has decided to hold this event called Teleracon, for like people who watch her stream basically. And there's like a few of us. I'm obviously going because it's being held like 2 hours away from my home. Morgan will be there, and Trev will be there, and Tiff will obviously be there. What with it being her event, and it's going to be like a wonderful meetup, and we're gonna go to like lots of geek themed things.
Like what?
Well, like
So
the
there's, like-
the
there's, like,
itinerary
Did
for
they
what
get down
we're
for
doing.
us?
There's like an
It's
esports
like,
bar.
yeah.
There's like an arcade bar.
There's this one bar with like every entree has like some nerd name. It's got like it's,
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
like,
yeah.
trolls lunch or something and stuff. And I was like, what?
Yeah, everything is like everything on the whole trip, basically with the exception of Tim Horton. The last day is nerd themed, and that's like the whole thing. And so
We're
it'll be
gonna go
fun.
get
This is
ramen on
actually
the
my
Friday,
first
too.
time meeting Trev,
Ooh!
which is funny. I'm a lot shorter than Trev is, so that'll be
Yes.
interesting.
Oh, are we
Like,
gonna
I'm
get-
way
are we-
shorter than Trev.
Are we gonna get a height comparison pic?
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's basically gonna be like Morgan, Tiff, Rory, Trev.
Trev's off
It's
screen.
gonna be
Yeah,
raising
I'm-
the bar.
I'm barely taller than Tim.
You know
like,
what
barely.
Trevor loves when you eat off his plate.
I wasn't. I'm definitely not going to
I'm
fall for that
speaking from
incredibly obvious
experience.
trap because
No, I ate off his plate when I first met him. I was like, "Are you gonna eat that?"
I thought that was the weirdest
Wait,
thing
you
ever.
did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I had someone do that to me once. I was sitting down in a cafeteria at the university, and someone came up and started eating my
Trevor
fries.
Did- Okay, well, Trevor and I were eating lunch together, and he didn't touch his fucking food, and my food was nasty, and I was like, "Are you gonna eat that?"
Okay, hold up. I need to ask because it needs to be known. Did he not touch his food, or was he just too slow that you were like, all right?
No, Trevor actually. Every time I've eaten with Trevor, he doesn't eat very much. Trevor will drink beer. Like he drinks water, drinks beer fast, but like eating, I don't think I've seen Trev like eat very much the entire time I've like hung out with him. Right?
See, the thing with Rory is that he eats like a vacuum. That's what I have figured out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get outed here for my
Me
fast
too.
eating.
I eat so fast too.
So, Maureen, you might as well tell Ash what happened.
Ash does eat fast.
I
Oh
eat
my
like
God.
a piggy in a trough.
So we went to the grad lounge on the first day that I was there, and Rory got these like what were they, like garlic cheese bread? Like that's what
Yeah.
they were, and there were 4 of them. And he was like, "Hey, do you want one?" I was like, "Oh, sure." And so I grabbed one. I was talking to Caroline, and I was just eating it, and I was probably almost done with it. And I looked down, and all of them are gone. And I was just like, did you eat all of those? And they were just all gone. It was
Ash, Caroline's my roommate, by the way. I don't know if
I
it was
know,
like
I
5
know. Okay,
minutes. It was like 5 minutes. So it was insane. Hey,
She doesn't
Lily.
watch my stream or this podcast.
Hey.
Or
Don't
any
He
of
watches
our
one stream and
He only watches one stream.
You're not a cat. Stop that.
I hope it's Tiff.
It's
No,
not.
it's not.
She does know Tiff IRL though. Like I introduced her to Tiff. Like we've had dinner and all
Is it
that.
Dr. Disrespect?
No, oh
No.
dear God, no.
Who is it?
It's Fabled Vixen.
Fabled Vixen is hilarious.
Ash, you would love her stream. I can
Really?
guarantee it. 100%
Oh, she's
guarantee.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I'll
she has
have
my
She
phone
she
endorsed.
pronounced Gorgason's name Gorguson.
That's
Oh,
why,
yeah.
That's why we started doing that.
Right,
was 'cause
right, it's
the
Casper.
Vixen.
Yeah, you got it.
Gorguson.
Yeah.
Mom,
I
please.
feel like I've seen her. I feel like I've seen you guys
Eric,
What's up, Eric?
poster.
Good to
Eric
see you.
could
I
have
know
been,
earlier
guys.
you
For
were
all of you
watching
who,
from
who
work,
don't
right?
know,
Are you-
Eric could have been here, but he was too much of a bitch not to call out from work.
He did watch from work though. In Eric's defense, Eric, how was work?
After I gave
How are
him
you doing?
that sound piece of like content,
Listen, maybe he
saying
didn't
that-
call him out on Twitter for his boss. to
Oh
see.
my god.
Oh damn! Yeah, I saw that. That was
I
good.
told
That was a
Eric
bold
that
move.
they need him more than he needs them, and that was supposed to be the inspiration for him to skip work and then be on this cast.
Which is not true ever, by the way. Like in almost any job. Like
I've never called out of work ever.
yeah,
You've
but
never
there
called
are
in sick to
times you
work?
haven't streamed before. You're just like, nah, I'm not
That's
doing it.
different. I mean, like work. Well, okay, like the story. I used to work at GameStop,
Mhm.
and I was an assistant store manager at the time, and my boss had me scheduled for a midnight Black Friday shift. So I was working
Ooh.
12 to 12, right? I had gone to Thanksgiving dinner with my family, got food poisoning. Guess what I did? Showed up and vomited and 180'd my way through a 12-hour shift. It was the worst.
Oh
shift.
my
I did
God.
not call out. I showed up because I knew they needed me. I've never called out of work ever. Rain or shine.
You are a
That's
saint.
hardcore.
Yeah.
That is hardcore.
That's
Can you
crazy.
imagine? It's
I
like,
leave when
like-
I see people I don't like.
I can't even imagine. It's like, can you imagine like walking up to a GameStop worker and it's like, hey, do you guys have Death Stranding? It's like, give me one moment. I'll come
And then no, this was at a time when it was like people were trying to buy like consoles for like really cheap.
Yeah.
And I remember I was helping someone and I was like, you gotta excuse me for a moment. And I went, I threw up in the bathroom, came back, grabbed their PlayStation, and brung them out. That's, yeah. I never called out.
I think, I mean, besides like when I've asked off, like,
Yeah,
in
that's a little bit
advance or
different.
thing.
Yeah.
The only time that I have called off of work is if I am really sick.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes I don't. Like, I'll just.
But you
I'll
know
just-
how important Black Friday is. Like,
Oh,
that
I don't
is,
think
like-
I've worked every
Yeah.
Black Friday that I have been at GameStop and never called off. I mean, the way that they look at it is it's like an all hands on deck day, and it's
Mhm.
like the thing with me is it's not just like, oh, you know, I want to make sure that I'm there to help and everything. It's more so that when I get there, somebody's probably leaving to go home because they're
Yeah.
tired, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's how I look at it.
It almost got demoted. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yee.
Yeah, I've never worked a gig like that actually. So I like, I've never had
Retail
this
is
situation.
the
Yeah,
hardest job I've ever had.
And that's
besides
what I've heard
working
from
at
everybody
Amazon.
who's worked. Honestly, like everybody who's worked retail has.
Well,
like,
that's why they're
bad
like the
retail
founder
experiences.
jobs that like you start with, because
It's not just.
That's
'cause
not
they
even
work.
true. Honestly, now today, retail is so important as millennials. Like, it's one of the biggest job markets we have.
Yeah, but I feel like
Mhm.
retail is failing for a lot of stores are closing down now, and a lot of
yes
places
and
are, like-
no. It depends where you are. Like where we are, Trevor, where I'm from and Trevor's from. It's a different world. We have just like big name stores like Best Buy, like Target, and that's it. And then everything else is like gone out of business compared to Amazon. But like I'm from now I'm in small town America, and those kind of stores flourish, So it really does depend where you're from.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, I bet Black Friday is gonna be real rocky for you, huh? Sitting in that office. not seeing a single human probably.
But retail's hard.
I like how we don't pick up your mic or your keyboard anymore. I didn't hear you type them.
The so
Oh,
I-
me?
Yeah.
Aren't you happy?
Yeah,
The impression
before it
I'm
used to be
getting
like
whole
super
thing-
loud.
the impression I'm getting is that I need to visit California at some point in my life.
Yeah,
I
you
would
should.
love to do that.
If you ever want to go to California, go to Southern California.
Is
It's nor-
TwitchCon in Southern California?
Yeah, it's in
It
San
is.
Diego.
Because I'm
It's-
planning
That's where I
on
live.
maybe going to TwitchCon next year. So
It's
It's
in
in
San
San
Diego,
Diego.
so that's where Trevor's from. So you'll see Trevor too.
excellent.
Are we all
They-
going to TwitchCon next year?
I mean, if
That
y'all
may
go,
be,
I'll
yeah.
go.
I think, yeah. Me
I'll
and Morgan
go
have
if y'all
discussed
go.
it actually. Yeah. Me and Morgan talked about this quite a bit. Oh, jeez. Sorry, is child abduction alert.
Amber Alert.
Yeah. Very loud
That's
Amber
made me
alert.
uncomfortable.
The
Smasher Con and NC. I mean,
real professional Rory. Yeah, I know, right? The I always have my phone on. The,
That's
and I have to
smart.
sound-
You
Richard, do you
never
have
know what's
enough
gonna
to room and board?
Sorry?
I
all these
think Richard
people?
should go.
Do you also go to TwitchCon? I'll walk to San Diego.
How much farther north are you? Right? Because I thought you were in SoCal, but like,
He was farther north than I was, Trevor.
oh, so that's pretty far.
Yeah.
Really far in Ray's words, exactly.
Especially
Like,
if he's
Rycor
walking.
is middle of California.
Oh,
I wouldn't
Chico,
even call
yeah,
him,
no, that's
yeah.
I've driven through there. That's
I wouldn't even call that SoCal. Like that's dead middle.
Yeah, Crape will walk. He'll swim too. The,
you can just walk on water. It's fine.
there was a time when Roy refused to have a phone or wear a colored shirt. Oh yeah. No, yeah. So I didn't have a phone until I was about 24. 24 or 25.
Lily.
Tim is giving out lore here and like it.
Wasn't Tim also the one who made the Facebook group Find Rory?
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, he was. Yeah. That's good. You got a good memory.
So
The,
guys,
yeah. What's up?
just to interrupt real quick. Do you know how like there are like computer desks that have like some of the holes in them like for like
For cables? Yeah.
yeah, like cables
Yeah.
and stuff. So I had this sitting kind of right up near one of like the holes. And Lillian's paw like came up through it and just knocked this over. She just
Lillian
knocked it
loves-
over.
Hey.
She's a menace.
She loves
Hey, you know what?
knocking
At
shit
least it's
over.
not the Mercy figure.
That's true.
The Ash is gone.
Yeah, she snuck out to get more booze, I assume.
She took her cup with her.
Yeah.
I was kind of afraid to grab this because I thought she was going to claw at me again. Where are you? Hi, what are you doing? Hello.
Okay, well then I'm getting a Pepsi. I mean, is...
I used to write Rory.
We're back.
You
You
might
used
as
to
well.
write Rory. Are we taking a minute break?
He used to write Rory Lore.
Rory
for a living.
Lore.
Rory.
You're gonna have to show us those documents sometimes, cause like that'd be really interesting to catch up on. Like, what
Do you just call it Lori?
Lori?
Lori. Oh my god.
So people in chat, if you guys don't already know enough about Ash but want to know more anyway, think of some questions. And then
Yeah.
we will have them
Ask
answered.
ask your burning questions for when she comes back.
Also, how is everybody in chat?
Richard, have you been to TwitchCon? I don't know if I know
No,
this or
Richard's
not.
not been out of North Carolina once.
Oh, happy.
Kitty. I missed. Oh, she's so cute.
Sorry,
I'm back.
hold on. Okay, yeah. Tim's talking about me. I can see. I kind of expected that, to be honest. What else happens here?
So Ray wants to know what streamer/streamers I'm assuming do we look up to?
Ash, you first. Hey, the guest. What are you talking about?
Streamers I look up to. It's a really interesting question. I would love to say a particular streamer, but I'm gonna do like the sweet answer. I looked up to everybody here, like right now. And this little call. Everybody has interesting traits about themselves or their streams whether it's like alerts or their personality. I look up to every little thing of that, and it inspires me to do better on my own stream, and it inspires me to be better as a streamer. I don't necessarily have one person I like look up to 100%.
So I'm gonna be very straightforward and honest because like I really like that too. That like everybody has like their own qualities that I look up to as well. I totally look up to you, Ash, for sure. Like you're probably my answer. You are definitely my answer.
Oh my god, that made me cry.
No, like I'm being extremely serious because I can remember watching you and thinking you play so many different games and you have so much fun and you're so funny and you go along with things so well. And like I'm not saying that like every streamer like has to stick to one game. It's fine when people want to stick to their games, but like one of the things that I always noticed is that you played so many different games and you would try really hard and like even when they were hard for you, you would keep going. And I always looked up to that. And you were like just so much fun. You were always so nice to everybody in your chat.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got nervous and I want to give it back.
Yeah, I actually. So yeah, I have I guess a similar answer to that. In terms of streamers I look up to, definitely one of the number one for me is Melly actually. And like I think Melly fosters a really good community and has a really good energy. And when I started streaming, I wanted a community that was like that relaxed and that nice and that positive. And I think like Melly and Ash are like there's a lot of people who say they're variety streamers, and Melly and Ash may be the like some of the only real variety streamers I think that are actually willing to try anything and like really are diverse in their game tastes and like Morgan said, like actually give an honest go to try to like when Ash was playing, like I remember Ash playing Dark Souls and like actually learning and trying to get good at Dark Souls and not being like I'm just gonna play this because fuck it because everybody plays Dark Souls. And
no. Let me correct you right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was really good at Dark Souls.
Trevor was like my senpai.
Trev helped a lot. That's 100%.
Trevor's so helpful in the game.
Like, did you see when I carried Melissa through Bloodborne? It was like that.
Through my second playthrough of Bloodborne, I just want to point that
I watched and I remember the first playthrough, and that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like, and even now with Alien Isolation, like me and Tater told you to play it on hard. Right, because we're assholes.
You were literally an asshole.
Like
you were literally an asshole.
And like, yeah, I think that's really impressive. So definitely, you two are some of my most inspirational streamers.
Aww.
All right,
Trevor's gonna be like,
cry.
All right, Melissa, what about you?
I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna echo what Morgan said. That
don't you start either. You guys are gonna legit make me cry.
I that's my honest answer though, and also too just because like in my short streaming career, you have been like a really like good friend and mentor to me and like encourager to me. Like seriously, like when you asked me to join your stream team, I was like, what the heck? Like, why? Like, why?
I love you, bitch!
Like, what do you see in me that you want me to be part of your stream team? I was like, sure, that sounds great. Like, I don't know, just like, I don't know. It helped having someone, like, be encouragement to me and
What if, like, secretly it was because
doing.
she felt bad? And, like...
Yeah, like, what if...
Shut the fuck up, Trevor.
Trevor, stop ruining this beautiful moment for me. Yeah.
No, you guys, honestly, when I say you guys, like, are all so inspirational, like, I think people don't realize how talented they are. And, like, everybody has aspects that they're so strong in. Like, okay, I'm going to use it Morgan, for example. Like, I love Morgan's alert. So I think they truly show the variety of the depth of her game knowledge and the fact that she loves so many different games. Like, it's such a little thing. Like, whenever I hear her Final Fantasy VII alert go off, like, I love it. Like, I love it. And, like, there's something special about someone that can create something so small that creates an emotion out of you. Like, I love listening to that because it reminds me of, like, winning a battle, you know? And it's like, And it's just, I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit, and like just like even the little details of like a be right back screen to the way you guys handle chat is so admirable, and like you guys don't understand how that inspires like so many people no matter who they are. And like obviously like I'm very like flattered that you would say me because I feel like such a shit show all the time. But like you guys are
Meerkat, we don't have control over that. Discord does. They won't let us change it. Go ahead, sorry, Ash.
Oh no, I just want you guys to know that you're all so talented, and I look at you guys and I see the things that you do and the effort that you put into the like little minute details, and it's so amazing and like does not go unnoticed. You know, I love like you may not even think I'm there sometimes, but I love just like enjoying your streams, like all of you, even Trevor.
Yeah, actually, I want to add to
Even
something
Trevor.
that Ash said about Morgan that I think is really important. I think I've told Morgan this in some words or another before, but like Morgan may be the most like naturally talented streamer I've ever seen, because like from stream 1, like it was like she was so comfortable behind a microphone. She was playing Uncharted and she was talking
Which
about
was
history, 'cause she
a
loves history.
legendary stream was
And
Morgan's first stream.
Mine
Wasn't
was
the 9-hour.
my first stream that I was there
Her-
for.
her
And she
test
was like
stream.
talking about the history of Uncharted, like not the history of the game series, but the actual history depicted in the game. And it was so interesting because like you could watch a million Uncharted streams and you're never gonna see anything like that.
Yeah.
Right? And even like there was no camera, there was no overlays, there was just the game. And she had such a like contagious energy that like you feel good just watching the stream. Like I felt better about myself just watching her stream. And I think that that's like really, really cool.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
No, it really is true, and I don't think enough people give themselves credit, and not a lot of people compliment other content creators enough, in my opinion.
definitely. Yeah. And for the record, my stream would not exist without Trev. The like genuinely like Trev was the one who like told me how things worked and like was there on minute 1, like getting me to adjust the sound in Oblivion so it sounded good and telling me what a gain filter was. And like seriously, like it would be a fucking train wreck if Trev wasn't there. And he's been there ever since, every single time.
Well, like I love Mel's stream. Like I love whenever I see Melly go live. I'm like, yes, because like I just get so excited. Because one of the things that I love about Mel is that I don't think I've ever seen her really get frustrated at any of the games that she's ever played. Like
I've
even
seen
when
her get
something-
scared.
I've seen her get scared. Oh, for sure, I've seen her get
panic.
scared.
I've heard her panic.
Absolutely, I've heard that. But like I've never seen her get so frustrated that she's like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like
She's
just
never grumpy. Literally,
yeah, like
she
grumpy.
is the
That's a good way of
best person.
she's never grumpy. Like she'll just be like, oh no, like, and that's like just how she is, and she'll laugh about like catching on fire on a game, or but like
Opening photo mode 80 million times.
when she was just so like, and she's so good at like some of those games, like Bloodborne, like they're such hard games, and she just was getting through it and doing well, and then like she was like, you know, I want to play all these other really hard games too. I bet I can do it because I know she can. And she's doing Alien Isolation and doing great, and not to mention just she's so chill, and I think because of that her community is so chill, you know, and that makes for not just a great great stream, but for like a great chat, because like you can just sit and hang out with people, and it's always so nice.
I also scream. I think that's what.
Yeah, I mean, both words work there, but
Trevor.
all right. So I'm naming somebody that I don't think anyone else in here knows besides maybe Zeus was subbed to him, and then I've told him less about him or about
The
yeah.
guy that's who runs Dark Souls.
Yeah, that guy. I like him because like everything he's like such a good person overall, and then he's always like really entertaining to watch, and he's always like full of energy and like not like I've never been bored watching his stream, even if it's a game like I don't play or I don't care for. And then I'll go around and say one thing about everybody in here. So first, alright, I'll go Tom. Alright, so first, Rory.
Here we
I
go.
thought you were really natural when it came to, because like even the first time talking to you in Division, it was just like I knew that you had done something in a different industry, or that was either like film or like TV or like radio or something, and it turns out you were a radio host. So like whenever I watch your stream, I know it's gonna be like not awkwardly silent or like weird if like you're just sitting there lurking. It's just like you're always engaging. And then
Thank you.
Melissa, I like how like they were saying, like you don't let anything get to you, because it's like every time I've been there, it's like you've never been like, oh no, I'm not playing this, like I'm like fuck this game. And I like how you don't give up, and then like you stick to like completing stuff, and then like you're like, all right, if I start this, I'm gonna like stick it out and like finish it. And then Morgan, I like how you put all the time into like the games you like, for like Persona, for example, and then like you know so much about the games you play. And then Ash, I like how the
He likes when I don't play Tarkov.
well that
I love when you don't play Tarkov, Ash. I'm just kidding. Sorry, sorry, Trevor. I love you. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, I won't interrupt you.
so I like how you just play whatever you want, like you don't like care, like if someone was coming in, it's like, oh, you should try this, and like they don't try it, or if you don't try it, you're like, oh well, it doesn't matter, like I'm gonna play this. And like you do what you want to, and not because of what other people want you to do.
Aw, thanks, Trevor. Thanks for
Zip-
being my carry and everything.
Zippy, I appreciate what you said, by the way. The that I do not get into long discussions in many other channels other than Roar, for example. I do like that. I do like doing long form chat things.
I'm gonna go off of Zippy's thing and say I think like you're so intelligent, Rory, that it makes it easy to have these long, like descriptive conversations with you.
That's very sweet.
I know. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't say if I didn't actually think it. Like
He's going
I
for a
think-
PhD. He's almost done.
No, I know that,
Oh,
but
okay.
like you're just so genuine and like so smart. You're not like condescending with your knowledge, and I think that makes it really open for other people to talk about and give their opinions and have like full-blown discussions. And like it doesn't just like you're not like thinking like, oh, I'm the smartest person here, so you can't teach me anything. I feel like you're very like open-minded and you listen to people and you enlighten them with your knowledge, and then you also take their enlightenment, you know, like it's you take it, you accept everything. And I think that that's really special, especially with someone that is intelligent. You know, it's not like you don't feel like higher than thou when you're talking to them. And I think that's really important for not just creating long discussions, but also learning and teaching with someone. So I can say that just from listening to you, because like a lot of times I'll like lurk in your channel and just listen to like you talk, and I think that that's really like it's definitely like what Zippy said. And I think that being smart and accepting knowledge and giving knowledge is a really big part of that.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, I
You're
forgot
wel- it's
something.
true.
I also really like Tiff, because she's the first person who wasn't like super weirded out that I was like creeping on her profile.
Gosh, Trevor.
Oh my god.
Trevor.
Oh my god.
There's
Okay.
a time and a place for everything. That was not the time or the place for that comment.
Look, as long as no one goes back and watches the VOD, we'll be fine.
Hey, hold up. Let's not forget that Rory has an archive of podcasts.
Yeah, but I know you're not gonna do anything with it.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna upload it.
Who
Like
knows what Rory does with him later?
I mostly keep them because I think one day Trev might make like a best of, and he'll be like, "Where the fuck are all of these?" And I'm like, here they are.
Well, no, I like highlight all of them, so then I always have access to them. So if I needed to, I could just like clip and
Yeah, because
whatever.
I know
Yeah.
Trev does that. Like he'll make like a little like video like collections of things, right? So I figured maybe one day he'll make one of the podcast.
That's one thing that I think is like super amazing about Trev. That like not only does like he do all sorts of that kind of stuff and he's good at doing it, but like just the other day I was like, Trev, do you think you could make me some of those things that you made for Rory for under his info? And he's like, you mean panels? I'm like, panels, that's the word. And he just did them for me.
Yeah,
Like-
Trev did the panels for me in like a night. He was like, "Hey, I can make panels. Sick, do it," and he did it. I
I
was
did
like,
that,
"Holy
and then
shit!"
I learned how to do the After Effect thing for your starting a soon screen that night.
My starting scene screen, which is amazing, I'm really happy with it, and it goes. I don't know, like Trevor, this was intentional, but your starting soon screen goes perfectly with the music that I wrote for it.
It
It's got a
does.
really good mood for the music, and I really like that about it.
I'm gonna piggyback on that and just make a nice comment, like Trev, just in general, not even that. I mean, like Trevor knows how to do this stuff, like like editing, Photoshop, stuff like that. You don't even have to ask him, and he does it for you.
Mhm.
Like when I had nothing, when I wasn't even partnered, I had no panels, nothing, and I kept saying, "Oh, I need to get him. I need to get him." Trevor made me panels without me even asking and then sent them to me. Like without me even like asking him to help me or anything. He just knew I needed them and he did it just to be like nice because I needed the help. So that says a lot about him, not as just like a friend on the internet, but like just a good person that looks out for other people. So that's just an extra thing where even though I give Trevor a lot of shit, like I know.
I mean, she doesn't use the panels
Okay.
anymore, but it's
Well,
alright.
that was also like that was like 4 years ago. Have you heard the panel story, Rory?
No, I
maybe
haven't.
should- Okay, so when I first started streaming, like Twitch, like when I first started, it wasn't as crazy as it was, and like when Trevor and I first met, and he made me my panels. So when people would follow me, I would see if they were other streamers and like follow them back and try and like check out their channel if they were chit chatting in mine. Well, this guy follows my channel, and I noticed like I'm like something is weird about his avatar. So I go into his channel. He stole all of my panels that Trevor made me.
What?
So I messaged him because I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but like, you're using all my panels, like, and those are my panels." And he's like, "Oh well, my artist did them, right?" And I was like, "Well, you need to get your money back from your artist because my friend made all those for me." And then what was it? 2 weeks, Trev? He had people come into my channel and try and troll me for like 2 weeks because I called him out for stealing my panels. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I just remember
Yeah.
like having to ban all these people. Just 'cause-
Panel
They
war.
kept trying to like come in and troll me because I was like, "You stole my panels," like, which is not a big deal. Like at the end of the day, like I like people stealing like Baru's emotes. It's so common because like if you unless you like see it, you have no idea. You know, it's the same thing. But Trevor made those for me, so like I just said like. I thought when he told me he paid an artist for them, like he actually got screwed over, but it turns out he knew and he followed me just so he could steal my panels and thought I would never find out.
That's weird.
That's such a weird thing too, that like he had people coming into your channel and trolling. It's like, yeah, this girl's just super mad that I stole things from her. Can you believe it? God.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, I didn't-
if you looked at his channel, you could tell that they were like really low res. Like someone just like
He
screen
just copy
captured
pasta
and
him.
then, like,
Yeah.
pasted it because they weren't even like high res. And I was like, okay.
No.
I was like,
Mm.
then
It
explain
was
why
so
hers are
weird.
in high res and yours aren't.
Yeah. And I was like, honestly, like I said, it was more of like just letting him know that it was noticed. It wasn't like I was angry at him, especially if he paid someone for them, But it wasn't. He just stole them and like thought that nobody would find out because they were all Rainbow Six themed because at the time I only was playing Rainbow, because I was so into it. So that's why Trevor did all these different ones that were Rainbow themed. And like, so yeah, the internet's wild. That's my panel story.
Oh man.
He has a point. That did happen in here once. Someone didn't come in here and restream our podcast, and like they were
Oh,
like,
that
commenting on
was
it.
oh
weird.
my god, that creature. I hate that guy. Actually, like there are not that many people in the world I hate.
Someone
Yeah.
restreamed your podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
they were like
odd.
talking over it, and like I don't know, like
Yeah, and they didn't like me one bit. The
It was very weird.
They
Like,
really wanted to talk to the brunette though.
yeah.
Which one?
I think they meant me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're
Oh,
like
they
the
didn't
brunette
like
in the
Rory
middle.
because you're dating. That's why they didn't like Rory.
Oh, it was funny too because they were like, oh, what they call you, like a Viking or something?
Yeah, that's
this
right.
is
That's
something
a
like that.
compliment.
And we're
Vikings
like,
are
what?
hot.
It wasn't in the context he said it, and trust me. They
Well, so I went to his profile because I'm gonna look at this, and it was so weird. It was just him talking weird over it, and he had like I can't remember what the no, I can't remember what they're called. It was like an avatar, like but that was like kind of animated a bit, but it was like a dude from like a newer season of South Park. He's like the new principal or something. I haven't watched South Park in years, but it was that character, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? What is this stream? And so like he got banned from our stream and was like going on and on about that. And then he went to a different stream, was doing the same thing, got banned from that stream.
yeah,
It was very
That
he
is
just gets
so
banned from
weird.
streams, and he'll like
PC
call
principal, yeah, that's his name.
and then like just talk shit. I did a bunch of research in this guy. He's on Mixer too. If you were wondering. So they've got not only do they have Ninja
expands.
and Shroud, but
I
they
don't
have
know if
this
you know this,
fucking
but
awful.
Ninja's on Mixa now. Mixa. It's on Mixa now.
Well, apparently that other guy left Twitch, but he didn't leave
Shroud.
from Mixer.
Yeah.
No,
Shroud,
no.
yeah.
someone
Shroud.
Oh
else-
no, there's another guy that
Someone
left
else
for YouTube.
left, but
King
they went
Goliath.
for YouTube. Yeah.
Gathalion. Goliathan. Gathalion. The
Gathalion?
Destiny, the Destiny streamer.
I used to sub to him just for that one emote.
Courage left for YouTube.
Wait, Eric, are you being facetious or I'm waiting for the kappa? I'm like waiting for a
Eric
kappa.
knows.
He's
Eric's
no,
full of
because-
shit.
Crape and I are just we troll on Siege. We're like, have you heard that Shroud left for Mixer? Or like, have you heard Ninja left for Mixer? We do that.
There's
all
the kappa. Thank you.
It's getting kind of late. It's like
Do we have anything
12:48.
else on?
Oh my god.
On the
Yeah, if you have
outline?
like a last minute question on chat, please fire away.
Yeah, AMA. Rory, what's your bra size? Trev? A cup? I'm
Are you all
sorry.
buying Death Stranding? Yes, I'm buying Death Stranding. Of course, I'm buying Death Stranding.
I'm gonna watch
I like-
people play through it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Trev's
watch
me
Rory.
play it.
I'm not.
Well,
This is
I mean, you
fucking
are,
cute.
but you're gonna watch me a lot later than expected. I've got some like, this is a long story. The
Yeah, because like you're like going all over the place when the weekend's coming out.
yeah, but it's gonna be even longer than that. To
Oh, then the original timed.
yeah, it's gonna be like probably like 3 weeks later than expected.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I'll be streaming before then, but it won't be Death Stranding.
It'll be Skyrim.
Yes, it will be Skyrim.
I'm still waiting for the lore reading library Skyrim stream.
I am gonna do like a lore educational stream next time though, because I'm doing Dark Brotherhood and I'm gonna talk about the lore of the Dark Brotherhood.
Speaking of that Skyrim, did you know that there's a whole ASMR video? It's a 3-hour one going in. It's an ASMR on Skyrim lore. And I fell asleep to it.
Wait, it's ASMR Skyrim lore? That was my next business move.
I know
Damn,
that was
someone
that was
stole
our
it from
big-
you.
That was
wait,
the plan.
That was our like big idea. Oh my
That
god.
was-
Use, you lose.
Oh
We
damn, that
came
was how
up
I was
with
gonna
that
make the
for
big
Rory,
bucks.
and someone
And
stole
then-
it.
yeah.
And the same girl did all of the dragon shouts in ASMR too.
What the fuck?
Wow.
She's like, "Grrr, grrr." Because how do you do that? It's just like,
Oh my god.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that all it was?
That was my big ticket to the check mark next to my name was Skyrim lore with ASMR.
I did Overwatch play
Why?
ASMR on.
I know, and I'm
Morgan's
listening to
stream.
later tonight.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. That was honestly the longest game of Overwatch I have ever
Yeah, no,
had.
that was because I was like sitting there. I was like, why is this game taking forever?
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
that
it
was
so
super
weird. I should probably go back and highlight that.
Hey, we're
That-
doing good, AJ. We're
That
cluing
was
up with the
wild.
AMA. I guess interestingly, you have the first question of the AMA. How are y'all doing? I can only speak for myself, but I'm doing excellent.
Reading Rainbow about Elder Scroll.
I like that idea.
Oh man.
Rory, do you
Open.
still plan on going on after?
No,
No?
because
Oh, okay.
2 reasons. Because that won't work. I've found out. And the other reason because since that won't work, instead of streaming Skyrim, I'd rather call my amazing girlfriend and talk to her tonight.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. sense. You could have just left out number one. You
Wait,
could really not.
are you
fucking work.
are you two dating?
Yeah.
Are you two
Oh my
dating?
god, cat's out of the bag, guys. We're dating.
Morgan,
We're meeting
I
each
know.
other.
I know.
in
AJ
Toronto.
didn't know for like a month.
cat pictures. I
AJ
sent
didn't
you.
know. AJ didn't know for a month, and Ash predicted it like 2 months before. Like it's like.
Like it was that hard.
Well,
to
no,
predict.
someone else didn't know. I think it was recently. I think someone
So
else
I
didn't
was
know.
watching a movie alone with like you're really dating.
Wait, hold on. I didn't hear any of that. What did you say?
Wait, you cut out Ash.
I said when Morgan okay, we were all playing Overwatch, just super casual, and Morgan like says like the super just like nonchalant like Rory and I were watching a movie alone, and then like literally next day I went to Sugar and I was like, "Are they dating?" And then she's like, she's like, I don't know, or no, or like,
No, I didn't answer because I'd
It was
actually
like-
I'd been meaning to talk to Morgan about it, and I
but it
hadn't
was
asked
like,
her.
and then Rory was like also nonchalant about it. He's like, "Yeah, we were watching a movie together," and it was like, okay, like we get it. Kiss already, bitches, please.
Right. Oh my god.
No, it's true. Like you can always tell there is a tone when like there is like a love connection. I know, it's so easy to tell. It was so cute. It was precious. But I thought Morgan already had a boyfriend, so that's when I was like, I need to know the 411 on this.
Yeah, that's
How
what
did
you
that
asked.
get
You asked.
started. I so
asked
want
me
to
if we
hear.
were
Oh my
dating, and
god,
then-
right. Right.
Yeah, who slid into the DMs first?
Yes! Oh my god, tell her.
I don't really know. I
I
think
just
like
remember when they were gonna tell me, I was like, "Oh, you guys dating?"
Rory
And they were
knows
like
he's
so
trying
shocked.
to hide.
Rory. Oh my god.
I'll tell you. You know, I met
like
my
you were
partner
gonna
on
meet
the
those
internet,
for-
and I slid into his DMs first. No shame. I was like, "Hey,
Said
you
it was
single
true.
bitch?"
So it was Rory. If Morgan doesn't remember, and Rory does, right?
You just outed yourself, is what you're saying.
He's like, "Yo, you need a mercy main?"
I'll get you
I'm not
revived.
saying anything. I'm not.
I'll make sure you get revived every 30 seconds.
oh man.
No, it's so
One day
cute.
they woke up and they were just dating. Everything before was
Blur.
They were just like, "How did we get here?" Not sure.
No, I think that's sweet that they're well, Rory's not saying. No, but it's great. No, it's super cute. It was easy to tell that there was an interest. It wasn't inappropriate, but there was like a, it was
Well,
like you guys were dating.
I didn't realize that it was that obvious at the time. Like until I like told people, and they were like, "Yeah." They're like, "Was
Yes.
that it? Was that all you wanted to say?" Like.
No, I think it's so cute. It makes me so happy to be like a part, like on the like an outsider looking at it, like a part of it. It's so cute.
I remember
really
they tried to
sweet.
surprise everybody with an announcement.
Like,
everyone knew, and they were like, "What?" And I was like,
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think
No,
my
I
exact
remember we-
words. My exact words to Trev, because like both of us were like, let's tell Melly and Trev first, because we play a lot of games with them. They're our like best friends, and then
And we were on the phone during.
we were
this,
on the
right?
phone. I messaged the Monster Hunter group, and we were like, because Melly already knew, and I was like, Trev, gotta tell you something. He goes, "Is it about the you and Rory thing, or is that something else?"
It's just like
His
this
exact
thing.
words.
Are
And
you
I was
a
like, what?
psychic?
I just went, what? Who told you? And he goes, "It was obvious." I was like, cool. And then everybody else did the same thing.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
No, it's super cute. It really is sweet. It's so wholesome and like it's so nice to see like a really positive, healthy relationship.
Look, I have all these tabs open for a reason. All right? No information. Is
Literally,
not
Trevor's
something I know.
been muted for the last 5 minutes because he doesn't want to hear this shit.
I feel bad for AJ though, because AJ didn't know and then was immediately exposed to it in a game of Overwatch, and he was just like, "Ugh, like I'm done hearing about this now, like already."
And you know what's even worse? I have to meet these people in less than a day, and I'm gonna have to hear this shit in real life.
That's
You can't meet
I can't
people
just
now.
Another compliment to Trev. Trevor's a really good listener about relationships. I know when I was like having like issues a couple years ago, I called Trevor just to cry, and Trevor listened to me the whole time and comforted me.
Aw.
Trevor.
Trevor's a really good listener about things in general, honestly.
Yeah.
I've had
Trevor's
many-
just all around a good friend.
Yeah.
Like that's something I already know.
I give Trevor a lot of shit, but I want to make sure we point out the nice things about Trevor because it's true.
That's like everyone's just like super surprised.
But you're nice, I know.
Yeah.
I remember Sugar told me one of the first times when we were all hanging out in Discord, she's like, he's not an asshole in Discord. I was like, yeah, he's a lot nicer when you talk to him than he is on Twitch chat.
Well, I thought Trev didn't like me for some reason. Like I think I really got to know him in Mel's chat, and I'm like, does Trev not like me or something?
Morgan messaged me specifically about Trevor. I was like, does
He's
he
just
not like
He
me?
okay, if he contacts you and like pokes at you specifically, it means he likes you. If he ignores your existence, it's because he has you on ignore. He doesn't like you.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Well,
see,
Could be
I-
wrong. Am I wrong, Trevor?
No,
Am I
that's
wrong?
1,000% right.
Yeah.
there was a very
I was so confused when I visited Trevor's channel for the first time and just like hung out in there. I was like, he's so nice.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I hung out in his channel
So
too. and it's
confused right now.
I didn't have where I like my thing on Twitch happened really quickly, right? Like I streamed very quickly after I started using the platform, like a half a year after at most. And so like when I started and I was in Tiff's chat, like I saw Trev there, of course. But then like Trev, I don't know how much longer
you
after I
think he
met
was
you we
weird?
started. No, we started playing
Real
the Division
question.
together right
Okay.
away. Like immediately we started playing games together, so I already knew what Trev was like. Like almost immediately after seeing him chat. Like Trev, how long was it? Like a month or something? We started
Yeah,
playing
it was
the
like
Division?
it was around like a couple weeks after you started showing up.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like you know,
Oh.
we instantly got along there. Once I figured out for Trev. Took you a solid year to start playing
Look!
Unless I was wait.
It's a baby.
Oh.
Happy.
She's such
Oh
a
my gosh.
So Discord has a really useful feature where you can focus a person on Discord and your whole Discord is just that camera. So my whole camera is Happy right now.
Oh my god.
My whole monitor, Happy's is full screen. The
I could do that for that too. Here, let's see.
you can only do it when your Discord is not already full screen, and then you have to. Full
Oh,
screen
it
again.
can't be full.
That's-
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
going
it's-
on
yeah,
full
it's-
screen. That's
Yeah,
it's too much work.
He's like, Mom, why are you not in bed?
Oh my gosh, she's such a baby.
yeah.
She's so fluffy and soft.
She's a big girl. She's so fat.
Mm.
She's so fat.
I think my
Yeah, just-
favorite clip still is of that one where you're like, "Hey, you guys want fat cat jump?" She couldn't do it.
See if that catch up.
The poor thing couldn't do it.
AJ, I won't die. I know all those monsters from Iceborne. They're just
Hey,
like
Ellie, you just got
reused
called out.
monsters.
You just got called up by Eric. What do you have to say for yourself?
Why is everyone just
Why
calling
haven't you
each
played
other
The Last
out?
of Us with Eric? What's the deal there?
Eric, just message me when you're ready.
Play with me.
Yeah, you're the one that's busy.
Too busy to be on
Okay, it's
this
like turbo
cast.
late. It's like 1 a.m. I know this is like it's an hour-long podcast too, so we're way over.
Look
Hours.
at her. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Happy.
I want to say to Ash,
Okay, sorry, I'm here.
thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us. It was a blast having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I hope I didn't say anything out of color for you guys.
No, it's all
No.
good.
No,
Okay.
no, you're good. Yeah, it's marked
Yeah.
18 plus, and then
I started fresh where I talked about sex immediately. I'm making everyone uncomfortable again. Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me. It was honestly such a pleasure just to talk to some friends and discuss some random stuff.
and I don't know if you saw, you signed up for this or not, but you did. That all our guests are like recurring guests. We're gonna have you back in the future.
I love that. I love that. If you need someone to be an asshole or have unpopular opinions, I'm your girl.
No, I think we have someone for unpopular opinions.
Oh, that's true. I guess Trevor's below me. Trevor's the Simon Cowell of your group. Like, everyone hates him, but they don't really hate him. They kind of love him.
No, like, I think it was like two casts ago. Literally, I was being attacked by everyone in chat for like good 25 minutes.
I guess it depends what you're saying. I think sometimes when you're like, Last of Us is not a good game, you just...
Well, no, I was like saying like I didn't need a Switch, and then like I didn't watch Spider-Verse because I didn't like the animation.
Oh yeah, the
style,
Spider-Verse
and then,
thing
like,
to get people hot in the collar.
I didn't think I was gonna like Spider-Verse because of the animation. It was actually... Okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna bring it up. Branding.
Eric, I remember that. That's funny. Alright, do any one of you have anyone on who we should talk
Who to
right.
raid?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I have a bunch of people on.
At 1 a.m, let's do it.
Oh Jesus, why are so many people playing games? Go to bed.
Okay, Zippy, what is it? Type it fast.
Yeah, last minute AMA.
While they get that sorted out.
10 p.m.
Yeah, it's only 10 p.m.
How
likely do I think Quasar and Happy are related?
What is Quasar?
That's
Zippy's
his
cat.
Maine
That's
Coon.
Zippy's cat.
Oh.
We both have Maine Coons, so they're fat and they look a lot alike.
AJ, what was your question even?
I
Is
think it
waiting-
was
still waiting
when
for
will
ads?
she let us carry her in Monster Hunter?
I mean, I'm down to play Monster Hunter on Sundays, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of 12-hour streams coming up. So
You're
y'all
gonna be
are
doing a
gonna
lot
have-
of 12-hour streams coming up? Really?
Yes,
That
I
sounds like
am.
that sounds like a Morgan
Badass.
test stream.
I'm trying.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and raise
What a
$5,000 for Chalk, which is the Children's Hospital of Orange
Oh.
County, in December.
I thought you said
So-
chonk, and I was like, you mean your cat?
No.
We're doing charity for Chonk.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing 12-hour streams every Sunday until we hit the 5K goal. That's what I'd like to do.
I gotta get Siege and play with you and Crepe and Melly.
Yeah, if
Hopefully
you want to
Morgan.
get carried, we had a fun time carrying Sugar last night.
I had a
Hey.
blast.
It was
Alright,
so
I'll
much
get it.
fun.
It's cheap, so I'll get
It's
it.
always
when
on
I get
sale,
back from
too.
Toronto. Oh, I've actually got to go to Toronto, and I got to go back to the island for 2 days.
You need to keep
but
in
then I'll be
mind
back
that
in
it's like
London.
a 88 gigabyte download, so it's gonna take a
Yeah,
while.
just
Yeah,
they,
see, that's the thing that I'm like worried about. I'm probably gonna have to delete things.
Oh my gosh, Bad Karma's here. What did Bad Karma
I know,
get
I
here?
love Bad Karma. He's been working so late recently.
we could. There's
Trying to bring
okay, so
awareness to
there's like a bunch
problems.
of people to raid. Kilroy's playing Outer Worlds. Metagame Mike is playing Brawlhalla.
Didius is also on.
Is Didius on? Okay, yeah.
He's playing
There's,
Escape. Oh, he's playing Escape from Tarkov. I don't know.
Trevor's
Oh, okay.
favorite
Uh,
game.
So out of
Like,
Brawlhalla
being able to
and
do that.
Outer Worlds, what would you rather see, guys?
Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
I vote for Kilroy.
I vote for Kilroy as well.
Yeah, Kilroy.
How do you
Alright,
spell it?
let's-
Is it
yeah.
just Kilroy?
It's just Kilroy with
Kilroy,
one L.
Killjoy.
Kilroy with one L and
Kilroy
Kilroy with two
Killjoy.
L's.
He's amazing.
Wait,
His camera quality is
Yeah,
absurdly
it's-
good.
can,
I know.
can someone
Yeah.
just post the username in chat?
Yeah, for sure. I got it for you there.
Oh my goodness. What a way to end. What a way to end.
Guys, everybody in chat,
matters!
thank you so much for hanging out with us and asking questions and being a part of this. Guys, let me tell you something. We're going to be back next Friday, okay?
Yes.
And the special guest will be Tiff.
No, she
Alright.
said she can't make it next Friday, so it was gonna be Zippy.
can't make it for
well,
some
either
reason.
unless we want to do a different day next week.
No, we don't.
Okay,
we do
so
not.
then yeah, so there's gonna be Zippy probably.
Zippy. Okay, our special guest will be Zippy Das Pinhead. All right,
then the week
and
after
he's
that,
a wonderful
we'll have
streamer.
Pinhead, y'all.
And so oh my god.
Whoops, I meant caster.
Fuck your Bad Karma, F you.
Zippy's a command.
Shut up.
All right, so go give Kilroy some hype and love. I don't know, do whatever. I don't really
God
care.
damn, Trevor.
Oh my
All
god.
right, bye.
Peace, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.